Because, well, Sayo has finally decided to go back to Hokkaido, but initially she's going back to Hokkaido on her own after much convincing by his workmates and of course by his best friend Yoshida. But anyway, Yoshida is utterly confused. Final scene. Mas natutulog na silang dalawa at tinopak yata si Sayo. Ayun, tumabi kay Yoshida dun sa kama niya. And yun, Yoshida made that announcement that he is going to Hokkaido with her. So, yeah. Looks like Sayo's not good. Sayo won't be facing her past alone after all. Medyo killing moment. Alright? Inamin ko, killing moment. Overall, it's a really good episode. Right? Let's talk about the pace first. The usual slowness for romance anime, but it picked up a little bit nung tumawag si Asami kay Yoshida. Kasi hindi sinasagot ni Sayo yung tawag niya. So, no, this freaks Yoshida out a bit. So sabi ni best friend niya, I forgot his name already. Oh my god. I'm really not good at remembering other characters' names, especially if it's a romance anime. Yeah, sorry guys, okay? To all the fans of the romance genre who's watching this review right now. So, yun nga, tinulungan niyang makauwi agad si Yoshida. Pagka hinatid na niya pa uwi. So that's the only time when the pace picked up. Alright? Talaga. Ako medyo na-freak out din ako eh. I even thought that Sayo ran away again. Okay? So, you could say na sakto lang yung pacing. Okay? Sakto lang. Flow naman. First gear shift was I can say the conversation scene between Isa and Yoshida. Okay, it's quite for me it's an empowering conversation. That's why I named it a gear shift. Okay, kasi lalong what you call this, lalong tumibay kasi ang tiwala ng kuya dun kay Yoshida. Okay? So, he trusts him even more now. He has no reason whatsoever now to doubt Yoshida's motives for his sister. Okay? So, yun ang nagpatibay sa tiwala niya kay Yoshida. Second gear shift is, of course, probably, the second gear shift was when during that coffee break scene, sila Yoshida, si Mishima, and yung best friend niya na may glase, yung nakasalamin na best friend ni Yoshida. Okay, they were talking about Sayo, of course. And they were actually asking Yoshida if kung sasamahan niya si Sayo sa Hokkaido. Actually, Mishima brought it up. And well, Yoshida thought that it would be a bad idea and it would look awkward. Pero inexplain sa kanya ng dalawang yon kung bakit hindi awkward, kung bakit he should go. Alright? gearship is when he decided he told Sayo that he's coming to Hokkaido with her. I see. He finally decides na sumama na kay Sayo. Nasamahan si Sayo pabalik ng Hokkaido. Right. If in all indications from the last two gear shifts that I saw, those two particular gear shifts will play a role in the final 3 episodes of this anime. Right? Because, well, basically, nag-decide na si Yoshida na nasamahan si Sayo hanggang sa Hokkaido dahil sa payo ng mga kaibigan nila. He has reached to that decision. Okay? But the impact those two gear shifts have will also extend, the way I see it, through the final 3 episodes. Okay? That's why I called them gear shifts. Now, for the plot. There were no sleeper moments again. Alright? And there were no hiccups. Talagang, well, yung continuity ng story ng episode, talagang it stuck to the subject of whether Yoshida goes with Sayo back to Hokkaido or not. Doon lang talaga nakafocus yung plot. So, malinis. Okay? I love how Project Number 9 made me focus on that subject alone. Because yun talagang pinag-usapan dito sa episode na to. So, there were no hiccups, no sleeper moments. Talagang yun lang ang pinag-usapan sa episode na to. Kaya malinis yung plot. Okay? Malinis. And wow. I can't believe it's another great episode from this anime. Dapat lang kasi we're on the road to its finale. Dapat lang na, wow, they should outdo themselves every episode in, episode out. So, Higehiro episode 10. I'll give you another reason why. Because, well, naantik ang puso ko dun sa isang scene sa episode na to where Sayo took Yoshida to that yung kumaga favorite place nila Sayo at Asami. You remember that? Nung nagkwentuhan sila ng mga buhay-buhay nila. Yep. Sayo took Yoshida there. At talagang she poured out all her gratitude here. Right? She was on full gratitude mode in this particular scene. And talaga, well, so much na napaiyak siya. And muntik na lang umiyak si Yoshida. Okay? Because probably Yoshida hasn't accepted this much gratitude in his entire life. So much na in-isolate siya sa isang lugar at doon talaga nagpasalamat yung tao sa kanya ng todo. Okay? I tell you guys, Sayo was on full gratitude mode in that scene. Talagang according to her, nagbago at tumino ang buhay niya when she met Yoshida. So yeah, those kinds of thank yous can really get emotional. So yun, napaiyak na talaga si Sayo sa kanyang pasasalamat kay Yoshida. And of course, muntik na rin umiyak si Yoshida rito. Because like I said before, I think Yoshida hasn't hasn't accepted that kind of gratitude in his entire life. This is probably the first time someone went full gratitude mode on him. Yeah. I call that scene empowering because, well, it ain't bad to have an attitude of gratitude because you are valuing the other person. Okay, you are giving that other person as much value as you can. You're making that person feel special. You're making that person feel what you call this? Valuable. Yeah. In his or her own life. This is what I learned from that scene. Right? It ain't wrong to go full gratitude mode on someone. Kung talagang ganong kalaki ang pasasalamat mo sa taong ito for having, especially if that person has had a positive impact in your career, your business, your life. Bottom line, you gotta show that attitude of gratitude towards some people. Kasi maybe, well, they probably feel unappreciated in past few days, past few months. Yep, it's high time. You should tell them how thankful you are that you have met them. It's a very empowering scene, I tell you guys. Right? You know, as the episodes go by, Higehiro is starting to exhibit that deep dive factor. Right? From a personal development standpoint, yes. In this particular episode, Higehiro had that deep dive factor, which is something I don't see that often in this anime. But probably for starting from episode 9 up to now, and the deep dive factor is a rarity in this anime. But wow, from a personal development standpoint, again, Sayu did the right thing here. Okay, she felt she is that much appreciated for Yoshida's efforts, and by the mere fact that Yoshida took her in despite being a runaway. Kasi, well, harboring a fugitive yun, even here in the Philippines, it's illegal. Right? Pero Yoshida took a risk. Okay? Yoshida took a risk there. He took a gamble. So talagang learn from that scene, guys. Okay? Watch this episode and learn from that scene if you want to learn how to be thankful to others. I suggest you watch this episode, particularly that scene. So again, Higehiro, episode 10. So, title of the next episode has been teasered. I couldn't deduce what's going to happen in the next episode based on the title. No. Well, Higehiro had me there. I'm totally clueless as to what the next episode's how the next episode is going to go down. So, what are we waiting for? Mga lifestyle. Let's just wait for the next episode and watch it. I'm hoping that that episode's gonna give us another deep dive into it. this one. Wow! Simple lang. Because, well, the gang of Fushi, Goku, and Rin, yep, they're getting along very, very well. Especially Goku and Rin. Yep. Mukhang nagkakaigihan na ang dalawang ito. And, nagkakasabihan na sila na sa loobin sa isa't isa. They're opening up to each other, which is, well, very essential among friendships. Very essential among friends, right? And, well, Fushi is being his usual self, right? He even went to great lengths to recover Fushi's original mask. Yep, they found it. All on their way home, well, Rin is being, being retrieved by her parents, and well, looks like they went to great lengths too. Of course, her usual chambermaid went to look for her, and well, Fushi provided the distraction, which now leads us to the final scene. Yep, Fushi's arch enemy is back, and mukhang napuruan siya rito. Now, Goku is left to protect him from this virtually unknown enemy. Wow, right, that was tense. Considering, well, Goku is a normal human. How is he going to defend himself, much less Fushi, from this other, this other monster whose sole purpose is to kill Fushi? Wow, that was tense. Ini-ASMR ko na kayo kasi I want to give you the idea of how tense that final scene was. Overall, it's a fucking good episode. Alright? Well, pace-wise, some of you who have seen the episode like me may find it slow. Nope. For me, the pacing was just right because for 2/3 of the episode, the anime went slice of life. Right? To give time for, well, Goku and Rin to, well, get acquainted with each other. Okay? And it only picked up the pace during that final scene. That was the only time. Right? Yung umpisa nga ng episode, they were pranking people left and right. Alright? That, you could not call that a tense scene because it was hilarious. Okay? They were pranking people to their heart's content. So, if that ain't slice of life for you, I don't know what is. Okay? Flow. Well, first gear shift is when Goku suddenly dropped like a log and he couldn't move his body. Yun pala, ilang araw na pala siyang hindi kumakain. So, well, it's Fushi to the rescue. Fushi is now able to create copies of food that he has either eaten or cooked himself, or is eaten or either seen with his own eyes up close. Kaya yun, he was able to feed his best friend. So yun, nabusog ng husto si Goku, right? He had a feast, so to speak. He had a feast. Kumain pa nga isang stick ng takoyaki. Okay. Grabe. That was one hilarious gear shift. Okay. I'm gonna explain why I called it a gear shift. Okay. Then second gear shift was when Rin, in order for her to let Goku to let her in order for Goku to let her see his face, she showed Goku her supposedly ugly looking wound on her arm. Ipipitsugay sugat na pala kay Rin. Alright. Goku instantly reacted, "That is nothing compared to what my hideous face looks like." Alright. So that too was a hilarious moment. Okay. I'm gonna explain later why I also called that one a gear shift. It was hilarious. Okay. Final gear shift is of course what happened in the final scene. Okay. Fushi provided the distraction by turning into March. So nakita ng Mayordoma, duguan siya. Well, it's just a copy. Okay, hindi talaga duguan si Fushi, because during the time he copied, he was able to copy March. Patay na si March doon. Dito, right? Di ba dito tinamaan si March? So talagang ang daming dugo. So pati yung blood stain nakopya niya. So akala tuloy na Mayordoma na sugatan siya. So the chambermaid took him to safety. Ayun, that's when the his arch enemy grabbed him, right? So natural natakot yung Mayordoma. Alright, so napasigaw. Goku comes to his rescue. Ayun na, which led to the final scene. Nakita talaga ni Goku na duguan si Fushi for real. Alright, that bloodstain became real. So ayun, nakita niya na yung arch enemy ni Fushi na talagang wow. Okay, he's able to copy what Fushi can copy and take that for his own. Yun ang power niya. So now I'm going to explain the two gear shifts, why I called them gear shifts. Because, well, bottom line, they're both hilarious. And, well, like I said 2 weeks ago, humor makes us human. So, in essence, humor makes Fushi human. Okay, so in the second gear shift, Fushi's nowhere when this was happening. But all things considered, this is a bonding moment for Goku and Rin. Okay, that's why I call it a gear shift. Kumbaga, to us Filipinos, bonding sila. Now I don't know where this relationship will lead to, but if you see it through Goku's eyes, he likes this. All right, he really wants to get closer to Rin. How can you get closer to Rin if you're not going to show her your true face? At sinabi naman ni Rin na she doesn't care what Goku looks like now. Get a clue, Goku. So that's why I found it. So that's why I called it a gear shift, because like any other gear shift, it will play a role in future episodes. Most especially the final one. Yep. Right. I think this is the trigger Fushi needs to gain another skill in taking out this monster who's really out to kill him. Alright. Plot wise, malinis. Okay. Malinis. But although I gotta admit, while I was watching the episode, I yawned, but I didn't blink. I didn't go like this. I just yawned kasi I yawn a lot, right? I yawn a lot. But the plot was clean. Okay, the plot was really clean. It went from what you call this, chronic pranking, to getting to know you, to hello Fushi, I'm back to kill you. Right? Simple as that. No hiccups, no sleeper moments. Talagang malinis yung plot. Like I said, pace, flow. Well, I'm gonna say this the first time. Pace, flow, and plot, they all work together for this episode. I almost wasn't able to distinguish between the three. Seamless ang episode na to. Another great episode from this anime. Okay. And it makes me feel at ease now that the home stretch of spring 2021 is here. It's about to end. Most of its contemporaries in this roster are almost done with their runs. Well, knowing that To Your Eternity will run for 20 episodes. No, we're not there yet. Okay, but we are almost at the halfway point of this anime's run. Kasi episode 9 eh. So, To Your Eternity, episode 9. You know what? Time flies so fast. Don't you think? Pero nyo, back in April, we just started this, when we were just starting to review this anime. I thought on the pilot, wow, this anime will have its share of both happy and sad endings. Right? And to think, may pagka-sci-fi ang anime nito. Okay? May pagka-sci-fi ang anime nito because of the main protagonist developing like that from Orb, from its creator, of course, to Rock, to Wolf, to Boy, to Little Girl, then to Giant Bear, then probably to deformed little boy, right? In all indications from the opening credits, the likelihood of him copying Goku is pretty high now. Kasi they're not close na. Well, they're brothers. Okay, they're they consider themselves, they consider each other as brothers now. They're not close, okay? So, talagang pamilya na ang turingan nila sa isa't isa. Even, well, and you throw in Rin there. Yup. They're gonna be one close bunch. And this crisis that is impending right now will probably make them even closer. Because, well, Gogo now knows that Fushi is being hunted down by this other monster, okay, whose sole objective is to kill him, right, and assume whatever forms he has copied for its own, or whatever skills Fushi has acquired to help him survive our planet, to help him survive our world. Yun lang ang purpose niyan. And poor Gogo, he's about to get caught up in Fushi's mess. But I hope, well, I'm praying that they both come out fine, because Rin's gonna get worried, Boozman's gonna get worried, Joran is going to get worried, because nakita na ni Joran kung ano pwedeng gawin ng halimaw na to kay Fushi. She has seen how terrifying this enemy is. And, well, Goku's about to find out himself in the next episode, more likely. So, you just gotta root for both Fushi and Goku this time. Talagang mukhang hindi makakayanan ni Fushi mag-isa ito. And, well, their brotherhood might see them through this. So again, To Your Eternity, episode 9. Next episode has been teasered. And all indications from the teaser, which I, well, mind you, don't trust, Goku's in for the fight of his life. He's going to go head to head with this. Wow, with this malevolent being, while protecting his best friend from it. So yeah, he's got his hands full. So, ano ba hinihintay natin? Maghintay at tutukan para sa episode na yon.
Wow! Grabe! Okay! So, it's time to connect the dots again. So, ganito nangyari dyan. Alright? Yamamoto almost took Odokawa's life here. If it weren't for Nishikawa's assist, baka patay na si Odokawa ngayon. So, he wants to make up for it. Odokawa gives him a deal. Ilaglag mo si Yano. Okay, so ganito. So, pumayag naman si Yamamoto. Remember, Yamamoto is Mystery Kiss's manager na kasangkot na Alipores ni Yano. Alright? So, okay. Pumayag na kumuntsaba kay Odokawa si Yamamoto. Now, this episode showed to us all how devilish Odokawa's brain is. Alright? Pero, simple lang yung hangarin niya. He wants to help, he wants to repay the debt to the people who have helped him. He has a noble objective. Alright? Now, isa pa, Dobu finally discloses his grand plan to rob this bank to Odokawa. Final scene. May natagpuang bangkay. Yun daw ang bangkay ni Mitsuya Yuki, yung isang member ng Mystery Kiss. Pero sabi ni Odokawa, that is not her. Alright? Prior to that, may pinakita si Dobo na picture ng missing girl. Alright? So, pinakita niya kay Odokawa. He remembered, he wrote that girl 2 months ago pala. Na mukha niya, yun ang isang member ng Mystery Kiss ngayon. Based on what he said there, I think the one in the mask. Kasi merong isang member ng Mystery Kiss na nakamaskara parati. Tandaan niyo yan, ha? While I'm doing this review on this episode of Odd Taxi, all right? Overall, it's a really good episode, right? I felt the road to the finale here. I felt the road to the finale. Pace. Medyo, yung mga dialogue medyo mabilis, alright? So, the pacing of this episode was moderate. Okay? Kasi sa dami nang nangyari. You really need to watch this episode from start to finish para maintindihan mo sa huli kung ano ang nasa isip ni Odokawa. Okay? So for veteran anime fans like me, I'm cool with that. But for newbies, nope, it won't. Baka mawala sila. But that doesn't mean the episode is bad. Nope. The pacing was just right. Okay? The pacing was just right kasi ang daming there's a lot to absorb in this episode. Kaya kung bibilisan mo yan, baka walang manood. If you make it slow as hell, this episode might have sleeper moments. Right? Flow naman. Teka. The first gear shift there was when Odokawa and Nishikawa was able to subdue Yamamoto and finally got him to agree to Odokawa's plan. Right? Crucial yung gear shift na yon. Crucial yon. I'll explain later. Second gear shift is when Dobu finally disclosed his plan of robbing the bank to Odokawa. Okay? Pero nagkaintindihan naman sila eh. He doesn't want a split of the money. He's already set his conditions. All Dobo has to do is to fulfill them. And they're good. Right? Tanda naman ni Dobo lahat yun eh. Ini-insist pa rin ni Dobo na bigyan siya bigyan ng party si Odokawa. Odokawa said no. Alright? So, again, a crucial gear shift. Final gear shift came when, well, it's not in the final scene, but when, what you call this? When it's within the scene between Dobu and Odokawa. That was probably right after the second gear shift. Okay, 2 gear shifts in one scene. This is unbelievable. Okay, only Odd Taxi can do this. The final gear shift is when Dobu showed the picture of the missing girl kay Odokawa. Sinabi pa niya kay Odokawa, try to remember. And Odokawa said, wala hindi mo tandaan. Pero, in his brain, namukha niya ang babaeng yan. 2 months ago, naging pasahero niya. Kaya, he remembers the face. So, na-conclude niya, this is the missing girl. Member ng Mystery Kiss to ah. Right? So, eventually, it led to the final scene where nakita ni Odokawa yung mukha ng bangkay and just said, kasi nakita lang niya sa TV, and just said, it's not her. Alright. So here's my explainer for the first two gear shifts, okay? These are two very crucial gear shifts. Alright? Alam nyo ba na hindi lang si Yamamoto ang kinuntsaba ni Odokawa? Nope. Behind Dobu's back, ha? Behind Dobu's back, tandaan nyo. Kaya ako tinawag na backdoor deal itong tatlong to eh. First, si Yamamoto. Then, it's Imai. Yung super fan ng Mystery Kiss. Okay? Naging pasahero niya yun sa pilot. Kinuntsaba niya yun. Okay? Kinuntsaba rin niya. He told Imai to play along with Yano's plan. Play along with Yano's plan. Alright? Then, the third backdoor deal he got here was dalawa lang pala. Sorry, dalawa lang. Okay? Dalawa lang pala. Okay, dalawa lang. The first gear shift sparked the second backdoor deal. Right? So, dito talaga sa gear shift na to, nakita ang pagkatuso ni Odokawa. Alright? Nasabi rin ni Yamamoto in his mind. Yamamoto was also thinking that our whole operation, Yano's whole operation, probably even the whole Yakuza's operation can be taken down by a single taxi driver. He was referring to Odokawa. Alright? Doon niya na-realize kung gaano katuso. Okay? Kung gaano katalas ang utak ng Warriors na to. Alright? So, that's an important gear shift. The second gear shift came, of course, alam na ni Odokawa eh. Alam na. It's also one of the reasons why kung bakit niya kinuntsaba si Imai. Alam na niya eh. Sasangkutin nila Yano si Imai. Alright? And alam na rin ni Odokawa kung paano oonsihin ni Dobu si Yano regarding that bank. Right? So, he now has this kind of information in his brain. And those two backdoor deals are probably just the beginning. Right? Like he said for several episodes na, he wants to take Dobu down and whoever his boss is. At, well, dinamay na ni Yano kaibigan niya. Sabi ni Odokawa, sige, idadamay na rin kita, Yano. So, for Odokawa, this is retribution for what Yano did to his best friend. Si Kakihana, yung matching na kumbaga binadger ni Yano through si ano ba to? Her name is Ichimura. Okay? So, grabe ang mga nangyaring dito, backdoor deals na yung ginawa ni Odokawa. These three gear shifts will play a role in the final 3 episodes. That's the way I see it. They will play a role. Alright? Masyado na marami nalalaman si Odokawa. Tandaan nyo. Right? He's a taxi driver. Probably the most devious taxi driver right now in Tokyo. Okay? Plot-wise. Nope. No hiccups. No sleeper moments. Talagang, planchado. Right? Siguro, ang ginawa ng OLM and Pix dito, they sat down in a conference table and they map out as to how this episode will run. So, okay. Ito muna mangyayari kay Odokawa at Yamamoto. Tapos, ito, kukuntsaba niya. Ito naman ang gagawin. May backdoor din na naman si Odokawa. Okay? Parang, they're actually connecting the dots. Okay? Before they put this episode out. Talagang, pinlansya ng mabuti ang episode na to. But I couldn't say malinis kasi you really have to watch this episode from start to finish. Okay? Pero, malalim kasi ang deep dive factor ng episode na to. So, I'm warning you guys. I am warning you mga ka-lifestyle. If you don't watch this episode from start to finish, you will never understand how Odd Taxi is going to end. Mark my words. Kahit wala pa nakakita sa atin ng final 3 episodes dito, I'm saying it right now. Okay? Odd Taxi has that deep dive factor. Don't watch an episode in its entirety. Yep. It will make you pay. It will make you pay. So, another great episode from this anime. Right? Talagang na-feel, I had that road to the finale feels when I was watching this episode. Talagang mararamdaman mo na malapit na matapos ang Odd Taxi. So, Odd Taxi episode 10. 2 thumbs up. Right? 2 thumbs up. You know, I've never encountered a main protag in all my years as an anime fan that is this devious, this double dealing. Okay, who's this much into double dealing as Odokawa? Wala pa. Si Lupin, hindi naman ganito eh. Right? Hindi naman ganito yung mga na-encounter yung mga sitwasyon eh. So as much as to make backdoor deals with nearly everybody, nope. Matindi tong si Odokawa, yung main protag ng Odd Taxi. It's what makes this anime wow. Okay? I could say it's one of the best this spring 2021. It's one of the best. Kahit 10 episodes in, pwede na natin sabihin na Odd Taxi is one of the best this season. Because wow, right? Because of its deep dive factor per episode, per episode. It will make you pay if you don't watch the previous episode from start to finish. Sigurado, hindi mo maiintindihan ang episode na to. Kunyari, you did watch this from start to finish, pero wala ka naintindihan. More likely, hindi mo napanood na buo yung previous episode. Hindi mo napanood na buo, sigurado. That's how much deep dive, gano'ng katindi ang deep dive factor ng Odd Taxi. Yeah, we can safely say it's one of the best. Okay? Talagang, shall we say it now? Pwede. Odd Taxi is Beastars' heir apparent. Right? Although it's not as psychological as Beastars. Okay, pero what you call this? Well, it involves anthropomorphic characters. Right? It has a deep storyline. And well, the lead character itself has a deep dive factor. Ganun lang yan eh. So yeah, we can see that Odd Taxi is Beastars' heir apparent. Knowing that we basically have no idea if Beastars is coming back for another season. Walang balita eh. Walang balita. Right? But based on my review of it, Beastars Season 2, if you base it on the finale, I don't think it's going to be back for another season. So, what are you going to replace it with? Odd Taxi. So again, Odd Taxi episode 10. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, like a lifestyle. So, well, next episode has been teasered. Looks like we're going to backtrack how that girl went missing. Okay? And in all indications from the teaser, which I don't trust, okay? Alam niyo naman mga ka-lifestyle, wala akong tiwala sa mga teasers. But based on it, that's why we're gonna deep dive into that one again. Right? So, personally, I'm looking forward. How about you? Kaya, what? Tutok pa more. Final 3 episodes na eh. Tumutok na rin kayo. Wow! Alright. Defraud is confirmed. He doesn't find it beautiful anymore. Right? He wants nothing to do with, well, that that bad vampire's name is, well, we now know. It's Rufus. Okay? His name is Rufus. Rufus is out to kill him. And, well, final scene. Maeda is back. And confirmed, vampire na siya. Wow! And of course, what remains of Code Zero now is they're trying to what you call this? They're trying to plan a mass exodus of civilian vampires into this some remote place somewhere in Japan. Right? Wow. Japan is still in chaos. Overall, it's a good episode. Alright? It's a good episode. Pace. What? Slow. But when it came to whenever Defraud and Rufus meet in this episode, it's a tense moment. Right? Kasi nung una, well, Defraud is the main proponent of this plan to recreate Japan as a vampire paradise. But Rufus has other plans. Nasapawan niya si Defraud. So, naitsapuera niya si Defraud, and Defraud has finally seen the outside after more than 2 weeks na nagtatago. So, definitely. Sabi niya, it isn't beautiful anymore. Right? So, wow. Okay? The pacing of this episode made me understand where Defraud's heart is now. Well, if he has a heart, well, he is a vampire. He is a noble vampire. Right? Questionable kung may puso pa siya. Literally, literally. Like I said, the pacing was slow, but you can even call it balanced. Okay? You can even call it balanced. Kasi because of the pacing, we got to understand where everybody's heart is now. Right? The only one we haven't confirmed of where his heart is Maeda, who made this grand reappearance in the final scene. Flo naman, first gear shift is of course when the way I see this as a gear shift, yung pagkaka-realize ni Defraud na he had a hand in all of the chaos that's going on right now. So he feels guilty. Okay? Right? Second gear shift is when Rufus meets up with shows himself to Defraud after all of this has happened. Right? He's gloating. Makikita mo sa pagmumukha niya, he is gloating. He was successful at kicking Defraud to the curb because of this plan by General Nakajima. All right? That's the second gear shift. it confirms that Defrot is out of it. Talagang he wants nothing to do with Rufus or even General Nakajima because he doesn't like what he sees anymore. Okay? This isn't what he envisioned. So that's a gear shift, right? You can say that Defrot has seen the light. Okay? Proverbially, ha? Not literally. Proverbially. Right? Final gear shift came when, of course, hinostage ni Rufus yung kanyang kasamahan sa theater. Right? And, wow! Okay? What a way to harass the former main villain of this anime. Nilagay niya sa itong babaeng to, nilagay niya sa isang lugar na may sunlight. Of course, hindi pupunta doon si Defrot. Pero it was a death trap pala. Binuksan yung buong bubungan except that part of the roof where he is standing under. Yun lang ang may takip. So, yeah. Yup. Defrot can't go anywhere. Defrot cannot go anywhere. Talagang gusto siyang patayin ni Rufus. Then, Maeda makes his grand entrance. His words were, I kill vampires. So, that's where the episode ended, leaving us this question. Who is Maeda siding now? Okay? Now that he is a vampire. Kanino siya kakampi ngayon? Alright? Yeah, you got that question popped in my mind the moment I saw Maeda again. The moment I saw Maeda again in that final scene. Right? That's a gear shift. Right? That's a gear shift. So, these 3 gear shifts that I saw will play a role in the final 3 episodes of this anime. Right? So, yep. Loyalty checks, reality checks. Probably every check imaginable will happen in the final 3 episodes. We now get to know where Maeda's loyalties lie now. We now get to see in the final 3 episodes which side Defrot is on now. Alright? And of course, magiging successful ba yung mission ngayon ng Code Zero? Yan, sila Kurusu, Suwa, at si Takeuchi. Silang tatlo na lang eh. Silang tatlo na talagang member ngayon ng Code Zero. Unless Maeda rejoins them. Okay? So, dami. Right? These 3 gear shifts are crucial to what's going to happen in the final 3 episodes. If something happens in any of those episodes, you can look back to this one. Those 3 gear shifts will play, the way I see it, will play a role. Plot naman. No hiccups. Alright? No sleeper moments. Therefore, malinis. Okay, malinis ang plot. We totally get to deep dive effectively into Defrot's mindset, Rufus's mindset, and of course the prospects of Maeda becoming an enemy now. Alright? But the final 3 episodes still have to confirm which side Maeda is on. So, doon natin malalaman sa final 3 episodes kung talagang good guy pa rin si Maeda. Alright? So, they made up for what they Signal MD, the studio behind Mars Red. They totally made up for whatever kung ano yung pagkukulang nila sa last episode. Yep. this episode made up for it. So it's another great episode from this anime. So, Mars Red episode 10. Deserved. 2 thumbs up. Alright? 2 thumbs up. Now, I'll give you another reason why. Kasi, based on the 3 gear shifts that I saw, this is a crucial episode. Bakit? Whatever is going to happen in the next, definitely in the next episode, will determine which side Default is on now. And of course, Maeda. Right? Kasi, parating pinifeature si, parating pinifeature si Default sa end credits eh. No one from Code Zero, no one from the Nakajimas, just Default. I think he will, I think he'll play a big role in the final 3 episodes. Right? But, based on this episode, we really need to learn where his heart is now. Is he still an enemy or an ally? Right? Of course, same question goes to, we can throw that same question to Maeda. Now that he's a vampire. Okay? Vampire na rin si Maeda ngayon. Right? So, siguro kung mag 6 packs a day yan sa Yossi, hindi magkakasakit yan eh. Alright? Kahit mag 6 packs a day siya sa pag-Yossi, hindi magkakaipay-sima yan. Right? Hindi magkakasakit sa bagayan. Vampire ni! Yeah? Vampire ni! O di, sigurado, yung vision niyang yun, masusunod na to his heart's content. Alright? Tsaka, sigurado, wala nang sakit sa puso yan. Grabe. You know, if I were Colonel Maeda, I would show what we Filipinos call utang na loob. Alright? He should realize that there is a debt to pay. Tandaan nyo, Defraud saved his life in episode 6. He was impaled in that rebar. Mamamatay na siya nun eh. Mamamatay na si Maeda nun. Then, of course, Default shows himself. Eh, nalaman pala ni Default na si Misaki, fiancé pala nitong si Maeda. If I were Maeda, I would realize that there's a debt to pay. Utang niya ang buhay niya kay Default. Lalo na ngayon. Well, the way I see it, Default is about to become a good guy here. Because, well, he is the only one who knows how to shut this entire operation down. Because, well, he was one of the noble vampires who planned it. So that's the way I see it here. Alright? But, that's only my speculation. Alright, mga ka-lifestyle. That's just my speculation. The final 3 episodes will happen. So, tutok pa more na lang tayo. So again, Mars Red episode 10. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. I don't have vampire teeth. I'm already 4.5. I'm already 3.5 teeth less. Okay. So I got nothing to show. Anyway, title of the next episode has been teasered. Anyway, I don't want to trust it. I don't want to trust it right now because I am so excited because we're now down to the final 3 episodes of this anime. Di ba pa kayo tumututok? Ang ganda ng Mars Red ah! Tutok pa more na lang. Sus Mariano kayo. Impressive. Alright. Bakit? Well, while the episode was going, I was slowly thinking that Merlin is now the villain they'll have to deal with. But, nope. There was an even bigger problem ahead. Ito palang pet cat ni Arthur. You can say na it also dreamed of becoming the Lord of Chaos. Okay. Si Cat, pangalan nun? He's been working in the shadows, so to speak. Now he wants to eat Arthur para tuloy na siya maging Lord of Chaos. Final scene. Well, eventually, Merlin is trying to protect Arthur. Then, Katpalug shows himself again. Si Merlin na humarap. So, that's when the episode ended. Okay. Wow. I feel sorry for Arthur here. He's lost one arm already. So,
my audio got cut off from here. Overall, it's a really good episode.
Pace. Rather slow, but with flashes of intensity, like yung Arthur suddenly wielding Excalibur or the Holy Sword to take down Katpalug's first form. Isang tagaan lang eh. Patay na. But before that, Hawk's mom is actually a form of chaos. Bigla na nang nag-deflate. Alright? Bigla na napunta kay Arthur. Alright? Then, yun, medyo naging tense moment yun. Alright? Medyo naging tense moment yun. Then, of course, the final scene, Katpalug returns. Parang, he's a lot like gas. You cannot create or destroy it. It just takes another form. If Studio Dean picked up the pace here, we wouldn't probably understand what was going on. Okay? Kasi this secret of Merlin has been built up for thousands of years. Okay? Hindi niya sinabi sa ibang deadly sins ito, especially si Meliodas. Okay? She even reinstated Elizabeth's curse para mapalabas ang Demon King. Yon, okay. Medyo, that was also a tense moment. Kasi, medyo uminit ang ulo ni Meliodas doon. Okay? Medyo uminit ang ulo niya. Alright? Medyo uminit ang ulo niya doon. And, well, let's just say the pacing was balanced. Okay? It wasn't unreasonable it wasn't unreasonable all throughout. Okay, yung pacing. That's all I can say. Okay? Flow naman. First gear shift is of course nung nagsimula na magsalita si Merlin. Kasi si Meliodas na mismo nagtatanong. Sinabi niya, "Did you try to kill Elizabeth?" Talagang diniretsa na siya ni Meliodas. And she told him the truth. All right? That's a gear shift. Because well, basically, if Merlin did not open her mouth, baka we might have seen some members of the Seven Deadly Sins die this episode. Kasi the priestess of the lake, both the priestess of the lake and Merlin herself describe what chaos is. Okay? Noong una hindi sila naniniwala na totoong being ito eh. But ang nagpatunay mismo ang priestess ng Magic Lake. Yes, totoong nilalang si Chaos. Right? And second gear shift, of course, Cat reappears, yung alagang pusa ni Arthur. Yung pala si Cat Palug pala yun. Who has been waiting all this time to eat Arthur. Once Arthur has assumed being the Lord of Chaos. Nakain na nga niya isang braso ni Arthur. Alright? So, that's a gear shift. Okay? I'll explain later. Final gear shift is, of course, Cat Palug proving that he can't be killed that easily. He is virtually unkillable. Right? Akala ko nga kanina napatay na sa mismo ni Arthur Okay? With just one arm. Kinagalan niya ganun si Cat Palug. Deads na. Okay? He used the Excalibur there. Isang kamay na yun Isang braso na. Wala na siya. Kinain na nga isang braso niya He was still able to kill Cat Palug, but nope. That's not over. That gear shift proved na hindi talaga madaling patayin itong si Cat Palug. Alright? Okay. So I'm gonna explain. The last two gear shifts will play a role in the final 2 episodes. Alright? Looks like we got another the way I see it, the 7 deadly sins have one final job to do. Alright? And well, they're going to miss Escanor services. Certainly. Kasi mukhang virtually unkillable tong Cat Palug na to Alright? And it may be this powerful kasi challenge na mismo si Chaos sa isang laban. Natalo nga lang siya. It means may mga natatago kapangyarihan nito na halos walang nakakalam. Right? Sigurado hindi rin na-orient si Merlin dito. Hindi rin na-orient si Merlin dito. Cat Palug was probably the monkey wrench in Merlin's plan. That's the way I see it. Okay? So the final two gear shifts that I saw here will definitely play a role in the final 2 episodes. Okay, how are they supposed to kill this? How are they supposed to kill this monster? Not even Excalibur was enough. Akala nga natin lahat patay na yung pala. Wow. It just assumed a bigger form. Okay, at nakaamoy nito si Arthur. Na parang pagkain. Okay? He is preying on Arthur. So, if you ask me, yep. This may be the 7 deadly sins' final mission. Their one last job together. So, plot. Medyo malinis. Okay, medyo malinis. Kasi, yung pagkakaentrada uli ni Cat, tapos, he showed his true colors. Medyo expected ko na. Okay. Deep in my cerebral cortex, medyo na-expect ko na to. Medyo na-expect ko na mangyayari ito. Alright? Because not everything is as it seems in the world of the 7 deadly sins. Okay? Medyo na-orient ako as to who Cat really is. Right? So, medyo malinis. Hindi siya totally malinis. Pero, planchado. Pero, hindi siya totally na malinis. Kasi, I already expected a plot twist here. Although, it's my first time watching the episode. Right? So, where does that leave us? It's another good episode. Studio Din is still reminding itself that these are the final few episodes of the anime, so they better not hiccup on us during these times, right? I think they're still what you call this? They're still hell bent on making this anime end with a bang. Right? Kasi mukhang virtually unkillable itong si Kat Palug eh. Mapapalaban talaga 7 deadly sins dito. Right? And they will probably need Arthur's help again. Kasi siya lang nakakagamit kay Excalibur because he is the future king. Okay? Excalibur will only have itself used by a future king. That's none other than Arthur. So, the 7 Deadly Sins Dragon's Judgment episode 22. Yeah. Justified na ang episode 21. 2 thumbs up. Alright? Bakit? Kasi although expected ko na yung pagbabalat kayo ni Kat dito, it doesn't erase the fact that the 7 Deadly Sins want to go out with a bang. Alright? So, henceforth, a virtually unkillable enemy in Kat Palug. So, kasi akala natin tapos na natin. So it'll be all downhill from here kasi they defeated the ultimate villain ang Demon King mismo. Right? Pero that was all part of Merlin's plan to effectively resurrect Arthur as the Lord of Chaos. Pero there was a monkey wrench in her plan, si Kat Palug. Now, she is now bound by her duty to the future king to protect him. Kaya medyo nagpaalam na siya sa 7 Deadly Sins. And I think she's no longer expecting their help on this. Okay? Talagang siguro iniisip niya, mag-isa na ako rito. Hindi na ako Deadly Sin. Hindi na ako tutulungan ng mga yun. So, but there's a contemplation scene here. Okay? Nag-meeting yung mga natitirang Deadly Sins. Sabi pa rin ni Meliodas, well, essentially, he is telling the other Deadly Sins na kasamahan pa natin si Merlin. Alright? We may be helping her sooner than we think. Kasi gano'n ang essentially gano'n ang sinasabi ni Meliodas kanina. In that scene. Right? She may be needing our help sooner than we think. Okay? Yep. She will be needing your help. Probably as early as the next episode. Because we are dealing with a virtually unkillable enemy here, si Kat Palug, who went up against Chaos himself. Natalo nga lang. Alright? And this monster is hell-bent on eating Arthur and becoming the Lord of Chaos himself. Alright? Imagine having this psycho of a monster wielding the power of chaos. Wala! Puro gulo na lang ang makikita natin sa Britanya. Hindi na matatapos ang trabaho ng 7 Deadly Sins. Alright? So, it's up for debate. But, the way I see it, in the final 2 episodes, they will be dealing with this monster. Okay? Technically, he's more dangerous than the Demon King. Okay? He will be more dangerous than the Demon King. Because, right? Comparing him to the Demon King, Kat Palug is probably pure evil. Alright? The Demon King, well, in the words of William James Moriarty, is a necessary evil. Right? You get what I'm saying, mga ka-lifestyle? Alright? So, yeah. If this is, well, Kat Palug is pure evil. Okay? And with the matching psychosis, to prove it. Right? He needs to be taken out. Okay? So, the way I see it, the 7 Deadly Sins will be dealing with him in the final 2 episodes of this anime. Hindi dapat hindi dapat mabuhay ang nilalang na to. Because if he is successful at eating Arthur, wala na. Hindi na sila matatapos bilang 7 deadly sins. Talagang it'll be a lifetime of dealing with chaos. Okay? It'll be a lifetime of restoring order for all of them. So, hanggat may definite form ang chaos, they need to take this one out. Kaya, the final 2 episodes, yeah, it's going to be probably slam bang episodes. All right, I really want to see how the 7 deadly sins will handle this one, kasi talagang he's virtually unkillable. So, and they're now down, hindi na nga sila 7 eh, di ba? Patay na si Escalor eh. Right? So it'll be just the 6 of them. So siguro tutulong si Elizabeth, tutulong si Arthur. So they gotta take Kat Palug out in 2 episodes or less. So am I looking forward? Yes, I am. So again, the 7 Deadly Sins Dragon's Judgment episode 22. 2 thumbs up. Justified 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. So, well, title of the next episode has been teasered. And I don't want to think about the title anymore. All we have to do now is wait for next week and sink our teeth into that episode. Talagang, sigurado, bakbakang umati ka mo na naman nito. Wow! Woo! Puta! Just like in Godzilla Singular Point, it feels like a 2-part finale. What? Yeah. I was wrong. Hindi nagkasagupa si Iori at si Sawa. But iba nangyari. Iori actually helped Sawa escape. Pero nabutan pa rin sila ng military. Nabutan sila. Hana came through with the assist, and then of course Rinko, what you call this? Sinalubong sila ni Rinko, well, still loyal to the Tokugawa regime. Faces off against Sawa. Nagkapi niya si Rinko. And without even using either her sword, her powers, or both. Wala. Pure skill and experience. Natalong luhaan si Rinko. Alright? Then, we also witnessed Hana giving birth to her daughter. Okay? Glorious moment. And of course, well, look who's alive and well. Si Asahi! Okay? Final scene. Naabutan natin umiiyak si Sawa. Then, she cleans her face. She cleans up her face. Sharpens her sword with just one stroke. Shock. Then sets off for the Tokugawa stronghold. With, of course, Nana in tow. What the fuck is she going to do? Wow. Wag niyo sabihin sa akin na sasagupain niya ang buong Tokugawa regime by herself. Okay? Well, I'm gonna explain later. Okay? On why she has the advantage. Okay? Explain ko later. Overall, it's a fucking good episode. Okay? It really felt like a 2-part it really feels like part 1 of a 2-part finale. Just like in Godzilla Singular Point. Pace! Well, nagkakagulo na eh. Okay? It's understandably fast with, of course, You have to balance it out with a with peaceful moments. Okay? Well paced ang episode na to. Alright? Throw naman. Okay? Here's the deep dive. First gear shift is, well, Iori lets Sawa escape. Siyempre, sa tulong ni Hana. Pero, ayun, sinagopa naman sila ni Rinko. Okay? The ever-loyal Tokugawa lapdog. Okay? So, Sawa has proven that. Napatunayan na ni Sawa yun. Napatunayan na ni Sawa yun. Alright? And, second gear shift, believe it or not, is when Hana gave birth to her daughter. Right? Okay. It's a rather funny moment kasi neither Sawa nor Asahi know how to help out when a woman is giving birth. Wala silang kaalam-alam kung paano tumulong sa isang babaeng nanganganak. Walang kaalam-alam. So, si Hana na mismo nagsabi kung paano. Okay. Sawa was even looking for a book on obstetrics in her bookstore para lang makatulong. So, sabi niya, and Hana just shouted out, "Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?" Yeah, I only told it in English kasi siyempre. It was a rather funny moment, okay? Probably the first time Sawa was involved in a funny moment. Okay? Yeah. It's the first time Sawa was involved in a funny moment. But I call it a gear shift. Why? Kasi, probably, for me, probably the first time Sawa has shown her humanity. Okay? Kasi, wala siya talaga nalalaman sa mga anak eh. Right? Wala siya talaga nalalaman. So, she has shown her human side in this episode. I call that a gear shift kasi it prepared me now for the final gear shift. As of course, ayan. Final gear shift is of course the final scene. Ayun, with one stroke, shock. Napatalas na niya na mabuti yung espada niya. After that, she just made a beeline to the Imperial Stronghold. Yung stronghold ni Tokugawa, yung pagkataas-taas na palasyong yun. Alright? How many bodyguards does Tokugawa have? Alright? Yun pa lang, problema na. Yung pumunta sa conference room kay Iori, mga elite bodyguards to eh. Alright? They know how to kill agents of Nue. Right? Sila yata pinadadala ni Tokugawa once na merong kumalas na member ng Nue. Sila yata pinadadala talaga ni Tokugawa. Wow. Okay? And for her to go at it alone, si Nana lang ang kasama niya. Right? The thought of it makes me scary. Right? She is going up against the regime itself. She's going up against the cause of all this this misery, this tragedy. Yeah. Go figure, right? Tokugawa is the source of all of this. She might as well take him out na. Total, nagkakagulo na sa Tokyo eh. Okay? A revolution is happening. So habang busy ang regular military at saka police in suppressing all these riots, it's a convenience for her now, okay, to go after Tokugawa himself, right? So theoretically she has the advantage. Siguro, I hope in the finale kukunti lang yung sasagupahan niya mga elite bodyguards ni Tokugawa. Alright? Grabe. You know, these 3 gear shifts I saw, I guarantee you, will play a role in the finale. If the finale hasn't started in this episode. Alright, pero yun ang feeling ko. The finale has already started. Right? Because it really felt that way. Okay? It really felt that way. And these 3 gear shifts are the reason. Okay? These 3 gear shifts are the reasons for me. Plot. No hiccups. No sleeper moments. Malinis. Alright? Malinis. Grabe. Back end record has really made us understand what's it going to take for Sawa to survive the finale. Okay? So, well, you already allowed her to escape. Siyempre, up to now, the Tokugawa wants her blue blood. They are currently weaponizing that blue blood. Alright? And, well, they want Sawa alive. Keep that in mind. Sigurado, oras na sugurin ni Sawa ang palasyo, no one can touch her, no one can kill her. Okay? No one is allowed to kill her. Because Tokugawa's direct order, she has to be taken alive. Remember that. Alright? Kaya, malinis ang plot. Okay? Malinis ang plot. So, another great episode from, we can now say, this great anime. And, recently nalaman ko lang that this is an animation studio original. So, original na back-end record ito. Okay? It wasn't based off manga or anything like that. It's a lot like Decadence. Okay? It's a studio not original. Maganda rin yun. Okay? Remember, we reviewed that last summer. Okay? It's one of the animes we reviewed last summer. Okay? It's one of the best. It's one of the best that time. And if Joran can give us at least a good finale, it will go down as one of the best this spring 2021. Alright? Grabe. I cannot wait for the final episode. For me, this is part 1 of a 2-part finale. Because that's what I felt when I was watching this episode. So, Joran the Princess of Snow and Blood, episode 11. Nag-isip pa eh. 2 thumbs up! 2 thumbs up! You know, animation studios have quite the talent these days. Have enough talent these days to formulate their own to create their own animes, which are not based on mangas, video games, novels, or even or anything. Okay, they just put their heads together, come up with a good storyline, and draft the characters, and then they put out an anime such as Joran. Okay, it's the first time I've heard about back and record. Okay, this is the case of Studio Knot. Okay, Knot was a totally unheard of animation studio until they came out with Decadence. Okay, for a lot of us, it's the best anime of summer 2020, hands down. Okay, I think it put both the mecha and cyberpunk genres back on the map. That anime alone. Pero I think it's mostly mecha kasi ang main protagonist doon is a cyborg. Okay? It's a cyborg, a little cyborg like that named Kaburagi. Okay? Kaya nalungkot nga kami lahat nung namatay siya. Namatay ang bida doon, siya. Namatay siya doon. So, it was a really great anime. And, I tell you guys, if Joran airs a really good finale, it will also go down that path, decadence talk. Right? It can become, one of the best animes of spring 2021. And still, no one is talking about this. Alright? No one is talking about this. Eh, pinapalabas sa Crunchyroll to. Eh, pinapalabas sa Crunchyroll. No one's talking about it. Over on social media, they're talking about 86. They're talking about, and they're still talking about animes that have stopped airing. Right? This is currently airing, and it's about to end. Pero, I wouldn't be surprised if kung kailang finale na, doon palang hinipe to. No. Okay lang. Right? It is the hype will justify how good an anime this is. Such is the case of Akodama Drive. Okay? Nobody was talking about Akodama Drive until the finale was aired. It's eventually became one of the best finales last year. Alright? So, everybody started talking about Akodama Drive. And what they missed out! Right? Nearly everyone missed out on that anime. And if it weren't for the finale, they probably wouldn't be watching it. Okay? And I'm, based on experience, Joran is now treading that path. Right? But, if it doesn't get the hype it deserves come the finale, okay lang. For me, I'm gonna say it right now, it's one of the best animes this season. This spring 2021. It's one of the best. Right? Ang ganda ng deep dive factor. Okay. Medyo malalim ang deep dive factor ng anime na to. So, if you're a real anime fan, if you're a real otaku, you would take this on. You would take this anime on. So again, Joran the Princess of Snow and Blood, episode 11. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga lifestyle. Well, in typical Joran fashion, no teasers. Alright? So, anong dapat natin gawin? Abangan next week for the finale. I just can't wait. I really want to know how this anime will end. Impressive, right? So, it's the finals. Okay? Cestus versus Felix. Sa kasamaang palad, Cestus doesn't have the advantage. Si Felix ngayon. And, wow. Okay? I never thought punches can be thrown from the shoulder. Yun ang technique ni Felix. Okay, nakalatahan ni Zafar yun. And then also by Cestus in the final scene. Pero ang sabi ni Felix sa kanya in that scene, it's time to win. Pinormahan na niya yung mga niya. Pinormahan na niya yung mga braso niya. Puta. Cestus is practically back to a corner. Okay? And literally, he was in one. Right? So, yun ang masasabi ko ngayon. Now, overall, it's a really good episode. Excuse me. I'll tell you why. But let's go to the usual to our usual protocols, okay? Pace. Yung pace ng episode na to, it's neither slow, it's neither fast. Kumbaga, moderate lang. Because what you gotta understand, we have to get the points of view from different angles, okay? Yung point of view ni Zafar, point of view ni Felix, and of course yung point of view ng bida, si Cestus. Even the points of view from his stablemates. Alright? So, hindi, kasi kung puro yung laban ng mismo, wala tayong maintindihan eh. Especially if you're not well versed with the sport of boxing. You really need this kind of a pacing in this kind of an episode. Okay? You really need this kind of a pace. If you make it too slow, wala eh. Hindi mo mararamdaman yung excitement ng laban kasi it's a boxing match, okay? It's a boxing match. If you make it too fast without explaining to the newbies what's going on, lalo ka mawawala ng audience. Right?
I lost my audio from this point, so the pace is absolutely moderate. Really nice. Now, we talk about the flow.
And we're now in the final 3 episodes. No, hindi na pala. We're now down to just the final 2 episodes. And this gear shift that I saw will play a role in those 2. Right? Kasi, yun yung yun yung gear shift wherein talagang nakita ni Cestus yung niya, yung strength ni Felix. His punches come from here. Sa shoulder na ganun. Right? So kahit na meron siyang parating ditong gara sa ilalim, dito ko naman niya babanatan. Yun ang talagang hit niya. Right? It comes from the shoulder. Okay? Kasi I think Cestus's punches come from the elbows. Yung power sa elbows niya. Pero ito si Felix sa balikat galing eh. Kaya yung leverage niya, yung reach haba eh. Kahit anong gawing layo pa kahit anong keep away ang gawin ni Cestus, naaabutan pa rin siya eh. Kung hindi siya biyasang sumalag, wala. Kanina pa siya natamaan. Okay? Kanina pa siya natamaan nun. Kaya, thankfully, his defense is really good, si Cestus. Kaya, ayun. Pero talagang, yun ang nagbibigay kay Felix ng kanyang reach. Pag ganun, no? Kaya, pag na-right cross ka ni Felix dito, wala. There's no escape. Talagang, before you know it, tinamaan ka na. Kaya, yun yata iniiwasan ni Cestus. Any more headshots could mean a loss for him, right? Cestus cannot afford to lose because he really wants to gain his freedom, right? So that's the only gear shift I saw here. Pero wag nyo, hindi porket isang gear shift lang ang nakita ko dito, it's not a good episode. Nope. Gear shifts are just for me, okay? In order for me to tell what can happen in future episodes, right? Kaya nga gear shift o cambio ang tawag ko sa mga ganyan. So, plot naman malinis, right? Yun lang ang inaano natin eh. Yun lang ang focus natin in this episode, the final match. So talagang BN Pictures really made sure that all the viewers of this episode will just focus on this match, right? So no hiccups, no hiccups, no sleeper moments, right? So malinis ang plot, okay? Malinis na malinis. Even the rookie viewer will get the idea of what is going on in this episode. Okay? Kasi yun lang ang focus natin eh. It's the final match between Cestus and Felix. Kaya malinis ang plot. So yeah, it's another good episode from this anime. So, Cestus the Roman Fighter, Episode 9. Yeah, kept me to the edge of my seat. 2 thumbs up. Right? 2 thumbs up. Like I said just a while ago, this episode kept me to the edge of my seat because that's what final matches do in any sport. Okay? Even kahit yung mga ganito lang in anime, or to be live action, or to be a movie, talagang matches, final matches like this will really keep you to the edge of your seat. Okay? So kaya that's one reason why I gave it 2 thumbs up. At isa pa, yung motivation nila Cestus at ni Felix, makikita mo rin dito sa episode na to. Tandaan nyo, Felix is a show-off. Right? He only does this for attention. Remember what he said? Remember what he said back in episode 8? If I beat Cestus, it'll be like beating the Wolf of Numidia. He's talking none other than Zafar, yung trainer ni Cestus. Zafar was also a fighting slave during his heyday. He was called the Wolf of Numidia. He was forced to retire because of that knee injury of his. Kaya yung naka-brace na tuhod. Yeah. That was the injury that ended his career. Right? So now, he's a trainer. So kaya ganun ang pagkakasabi ni Felix. Kapag natalo niya si Cestus, para na lang niyang tinalo ang pinakamagaling na boxer ng panahon na yun. Si Zafar. Kasi si Zafar ang trainer ni Cestus. Right? Of course, bragging rights for Felix. Pag natalo siya si Cestus, sabihin niya, it feels like I've just beaten the Wolf of Numidia, his trainer. Right? So, he's a glory hound. Okay? Felix is a glory hound. Cestus, he just wants his freedom. That's why he's doing this. Kaya, kumbaga, you can't say who has the bigger motivation eh. You can't say who has the bigger motivation. Pantay lang yung motivation nilang dalawa. But, if you deep dive into it more, Cestus has, what you call this? Cestus's motivation is much deeper. Kasi, well, basically, he wants freedom. Okay? He just wants his freedom. Right? Well, to others, mababaw lang yun. To Felix, mababaw lang yun. Pero, what do you expect from Cestus? He's just 15 years old. Right? Whatever he needs to do now, yun ang magiging motivation niya. Right? And technically, they're all slaves here. They're all just slaves. Okay? So, nobody can question either of their motivations. The motivations of either fighter. Right? But if you only take a look at Cestus, his is more noble. He just wants his freedom. That's why he's doing it. Right? Told you guys, Cestus also has that deep dive factor. So again, Cestus the Roman Fighter, Episode 9. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. So, well, next episode has been teasered. I don't trust teasers, but the way it looks, mukhang dito babawi si Cestus. Right? Mukhang dito siya babawi, but I don't think he's figured out things yet. I don't think he's figured things out yet. Right? Pero he needs to figure them out fast. Kasi kapag hindi niya na-figure out yun, matatalo siya rito. Alright? So, tutok pa more tayo. Wow! Alright. All the lead characters are now preparing for the finale. Yan ang sure natin dito. Kasi, it seems that May's faction is now looking for a non-violent way of ending all this. Okay, of course meron din silang orthogonal diagonalizer. Okay, just in case worst comes to worst. Yan, gagamitin nila yan. Now, Yun's faction on the other hand only has one mission in mind now. Kasi if you remember, Yun is supposed to receive a message from May 3 hours from now, 3 to 4 hours from now, at a specific location, 100 meters above Tokyo Station. Ang problema nga lang, nandun din si Godzilla. Alright? Yung exact location ng pagkukuhanan ng message na yon, nandun din si Godzilla eh. So they have no choice now but to fight Godzilla. Okay? Yun's faction now has no choice. Final scene. Ayun nga. Yun's entourage, including Jet Jaguar, they now set off to Godzilla's cocoon. Yung that parang mushroom cloud na puro red dust. Yan. May dala rin silang orthogonal diagonalizer, or we can call it the red dust bomb, kasi once na tinrigger mo yun, any red dust in the vicinity becomes a weapon. So biglang magki-crystallize yun, as in what happened to Salunga. Jet Jaguar is about to face Godzilla in the finale. Alright? So, overall, yeah. Okay. The way I see it, this is part 1 of a 2-part finale. Kasi, the episode ended with Godzilla doing his usual howl. Yung kanyang battle howl. The iconic battle howl. Right? Iconic na yung sigaw niyang yun eh. Right? So, the way I see it, again, this is part 1 of a 2-part finale. Okay? Pace. Medyo, kumbaga, it went from slow to fast during the final scene. Okay lang yon. Kasi, marami ng senyales that the inevitable battle with Godzilla is forthcoming. Okay? Na foretold na ng mga silkworm, yung mga silkworm moths na ang dami. Okay? It's a whole swarm of them. While they were modifying Jet Jaguar, naglabasan lahat yun. Papunta sa kokon ni Godzilla. So, sabi nga ng matanda, it's a sign of war. So, does this mean that Godzilla has accepted their challenge? That's scary. That's scary. Okay. Yung laser pala na pinalalabas ng ganon, now I know what it's called. The atomic breath. Alright? Kasi it stems from its origins pa. Godzilla was originally a product of the nuclear fallout that happened during the bombing of Hiroshima. May nag-mutate yata ang hayop noon, ayun, lumabas si Godzilla. So, anything that he emits is radioactive in nature. Right? This was highlighted during Matthew Broderick's Godzilla movie. Yan, pero iba yung naging backstory ni Godzilla rito. Doon sa movie na yon, it was he was a product of France's controversial nuclear testing, which did make headlines at the time. Right? Talagang pinuna ng buong mundo ang France noon. So, staving off of that controversy, ginawa nila ngayon as backstory for the Godzilla reboot. Yan, yung kay Matthew Broderick. So, napanood ko mismo sa sinihan yun. Alright? From start to finish, napanood ko yun. So, tama yung pacing. Because, everybody is preparing for the end of the world practically. And, May's faction is trying to solve this riddle of this complex mathematical problem, which will lead to the end of the catastrophe, as foretold by its proponent, si Professor Ashihara. Right? So there's the non-violent way. Okay? Kasi hinahack nila yung they were actually hacking Shiva's servers para malaman kung ano talaga yung totoo, using of course si Pelops 2, yung AI yung homemade AI ni May. Right? And on yun sa side naman ni Yun is already what you call this? Yun already has an idea on where and when he will receive May's message. 3 to 4 hours from now, 100 meters above Tokyo Station. Ang problema nga lang, nandun din si Godzilla. So, with the help of the Japanese military, him and his group have no choice now but to face Godzilla. Wala na sila choice. Because the message Yun is waiting for has a sort of 500 foot atomic lock who goes by the name of Godzilla. Right? So, no choice sila. Kailangan nilang labanan si Godzilla para makuha nila yung message na yun. So, the pacing makes it quite understandable. Alright? Makes it quite logical. Not understandable. Logical yung pacing ng episode. Right? So, let's now go to the flow naman. First gear shift is May and company finally reached the core of the super dimensional calculator. Yun din pala ang central server ng Shiva Corp. Ng Shiva Consortium, which is guarded by as BB calls it, a dimensional rift. Parang naka-encase sa tubig eh. May mga ripples na lumalabas na ganun eh. Right? So, it now presents a problem. Kasi, hindi nila makahawakan yung server na yun. So, what they did is to employ Pelot services. Kasi, AI siya. Right? So, they hook Pelops up to the server. Yun lang ang magagawa nila eh. So, Pelops hooks herself up to the server. Siya na mismo gumawa. Right? Kasi may robot form na siya. She can now go to where no human is allowed to go. Right? So, magandang gear shift to eh. Then, the final gear shift came when, of course, Yun's faction realized that in order for Yun to get to May's message, they have to go through Godzilla. There's no other way around it. Okay? There's no other way around it. They have to take Godzilla out first. So, yun nga. They minodify nila si Jet Jaguar. Okay? They have to modify Jet Jaguar para ma-withstand niya ang mga attacks ni Godzilla. They really had to modify Jet Jaguar probably just to help her outlast Godzilla. Parang ganon yan. Okay? Kasi nakita ko yung modification sa kanya. Kung ano yung mga pinagkakabit sa kanya. Alright? Grabe. Right? Those 2 gear shifts. Okay? I am 100% sure those 2 gear shifts will play a role in the finale. Alright? So, plot naman. Yeah. They made up for what they made up for the debacle in episode 11. Right? Malinis. Okay? Malinis ang plot. Siyempre, you need to prepare the main protagonist for the final boss battle. Okay? This is Godzilla we're talking about. He is not called the king of the monsters for nothing. Okay? He can even take out other kaijus. Okay? Grabe. Talagang ipinaintindi talaga ng Bones at Orange sa atin the preparations the lead characters had to go through just to face Godzilla and calculate the solution at the same time from two very different parts of the world. Okay, magkabilang dulo ng mundo na yun eh. India tapos Japan. Halos magkabilang dulo na ng mundo yun. Alright? So, malinis talaga ang plot. Okay, malinis ang plot. Wow. Bones and Orange really made up for it. Talagang, it's another great episode from this anime. Okay? Sabi ko sa inyo eh, if I could give an award for most improved anime for this year, I would give it to this one. I would give it to Singular Point. Okay? They were absolutely so-so during the first 4 or 5 episodes. But come episode 6, ayan na. Okay? The pacing has picked up, the storyline became more intense. And it's understandable kasi they were actually preparing for Godzilla's appearance. He did not appear until episode I think 8. Yan. Episode 8. Doon lang lumabas si Godzilla. Okay, so wow. What a way for the star of the show to show up. Okay. Grabe. So, Godzilla Singular Point episode 12. 2 thumbs up, right? 2 thumbs up. Water break. I'm gonna fill this up later. Now, so let's make some conspiracy theories now. Let's deep dive into this episode. So what's gonna happen? What do I think is going to happen in the finale? Now I don't want to sound like a prophet, but this is an entirely new story. Okay, so anything can happen, right? This is an entirely new Godzilla storyline. Okay, so there's nothing nostalgic about it. There's nothing you can compare to other incarnations of Godzilla. Right? Even the one in the Monsterverse right now. So, ano ba Monsterverse? Kong. It started with Kong. It started actually with Kong. Kong Skull Island. Then, of course, Godzilla. Then Godzilla King of the Monsters. And finally, Godzilla versus Kong. Okay? So, you can compare. And you can even compare it to the original storyline of Godzilla in the 60s. I think the only innovation, the biggest innovation here was Godzilla having a targeting system of his own. In previous incarnations, he doesn't have that. Yung, when he's about to fire his atomic breath, wala. To whom it may concern yun. To whom it may concern. He either fires it in the air or at an enemy. Yun lang kapupuntahan ng atomic breath niyang yun. But for this Godzilla to have, magbubuka na yung bibig na gano'n, umiilaw na yung loob ng bunganga niya. At the same time, may lalabas mag-anim na bilog na gano'n. Alright? So, kumbaga, you can say it's his targeting system. Asintahan. So, doon talaga lumulusot yung atomic breath niya. And, look at how much damage it has caused. Talagang, mas systematic. Okay? Mas systematic ang atomic breath niya. So, which makes it scarier, okay? Which makes this atomic breath scarier. Imagine the power of 1 million sniper rifles coming at you in one shot. Ganun lang to. And all of them are using radioactive bullets. Right? Na ganun kahaba. Hindi, na ganun kahaba. Yan, isang dangkal. Isang dangkal yung haba. Ganun. It must be that powerful. Grabe. Then of course the red dust thing. So they really have to explain that. Although now, but it can become complex at times, pero you have to give it a bottom line. Here's my bottom line. The bottom line is, if it weren't for that red dust, Godzilla wouldn't come out. Okay? And what? Sino nagpasimuno ng red dust? Ang mga Rodan. Right? Here, the Rodans are smaller. There are Rodans. Marami sila. In previous incarnations of the Godzilla storyline, iisa lang ang Rodan. Malaki. Right? And Godzilla always takes that Rodan out. Isang atomic breath lang. Pero malakas ang Rodan. It'll take Godzilla's atomic breath to take it out kasi lumilipad eh. Godzilla can't fly. Okay? But he can't shoot you down. Okay, if you're another kaiju, if you're a flying kaiju, he can't shoot you down with that. Sigurado. Sigurado. Bangkay ka nang babagsak sa lupa. Alright? So, if you ask me, well, I'm quite excited as to how the finale is gonna go down. Alright? I don't want to speculate right now because this is an entirely different storyline of Godzilla. But I'm glad they made but I am so glad they did a TV anime adaptation. Right? Kasi yung mga ibang Godzilla anime, they were movies. I think this is the very first time Japan produced its own animated version of Godzilla. Na TV, for TV, okay? So, hintayin lang natin ang finale next week. Alright? Kung ano na mangyayari. It will be a showdown between Jet Jaguar versus Godzilla. So, while this was going on, two geniuses are working together to still create a peaceful mathematical solution to all of this. Right? So again, Godzilla Singular Point episode 12. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. Well, in typical Godzilla SP fashion, no teasers. Sige na nga. Pinakali na nga eh. Sige, okay lang. Let's just watch it, okay? Let's just watch the finale next week. Wow! You know, ganito katapat na kaibigan si Yo. Okay? Ganito siya katapat na kaibigan. Pag namimiligro ang kalaban niya, tinutulungan niya kaagad yun. So, best example is Ren. Ayun. Sinumbong, bumalik si Bason to Japan para, ayun, huminga na tulong kila Yo. And what? Yo and company come to the rescue. Ayan na. Bakbakan. And they were able to rescue Ren at saka si Jun, yung magkapatid. Right? Pero Ren insisted, he really wants to kill his father. He did not come back all the way from Japan for nothing. Talagang susubukan pa rin niya patayin yung tatay niya. Sabi ni Yo, oh well, sige, tulungan na rin kita. Final scene. Ayan na. Yung unang stumbling block, sumalubong na. They call themselves the Torture Brothers, but wala. Pinagwagwagan na ng dalawa ni Ren at Neo. Then, it's on to the top of Castle Tau, kung saan nandun si Tao En. Right? Grabe. Halimaw. Halimaw ang tatay ni Ren na yan. Halimaw talaga. Overall, it's a fucking good episode. Alright? Talagang yung the action, vintage Shaman King. Alright? Pace. Of course, talagang mabilis. Bakbakang umatikabo bakbakang umaatikabo. Right? The only time it slowed down is when Bason, what's it called this? Cried for help to Yo in the gang, right? So ang mga sumama, si Ryunosuke, si Horo, and of course si Manta. Bakit pa sumasama yung Manta na yun Wala naman siya silbi! Ano ba yan? Hindi naman siya shaman. Pero nakakita siya ng multo. Okay? He has the ability to see ghosts. Pero he's not a shaman. The only time it slowed down was when Bason asked for Yo's help. Yeah, so tumulong nga sila Ryunosuke, Horo, and alam ko bakit sumama pa si Mante. Alright? Pero anyway, the pacing was good. Okay? The pacing was justified. Kasi it's an action-packed episode. Right? It's an action-packed episode. So, dapat lang talaga mabilis. Right? Tama lang yung pacing. Flow naman. Well, first gear shift here was Bason going back to Japan, asking for Yo's help. Right? Para tulungan yung kanyang master. So, hindi na nagdalawang isip si Yo. Pumunta ka ng China. Tutulungan nila. Ganun lang kadaling kausap si Ren pagdating sa mga kaibigan niya. Alright? That's why he's one of the, you can say, one of the most iconic anime characters from the 90s. From the 90s, sorry. From the 2000s. Kasi ang original series, it was shown in the 2000s. Right? Baga, classic anime to from the 2000s yung original. So, he's a well-loved character in all of anime. Kaya, it's what endeared to him. It's what endeared to him for fans. Okay? Not just fans of Shaman King, but anime fans in general. Right? Talagang, ganon. Introuble si Ren. O sige, punta na tayong China. Punta sila kagad. Okay? Second gear shift is of course when ayun na, nakapasok na sila sa Castle Tau. Inaabangan na sila ni Tao En. So, una niya pinasagupa yung kanyang, what do you call that? The 5-star core. Okay? Yun ang yun ang una niya. Pero, nakita nyo naman, horo-horo pa lang at Ryunosuke, kaya-kaya na. So, sinabi nila, Oren, i-rescue, hindi, how? Yo, i-rescue mo na si Ren, kami na bahala rito. Silang dalawa lang. Okay? Silang dalawa lang. Okay, we'll take it from here. Go rescue Ren. O, yun. So, malaya nang na-rescue ni Yo, si Ren, tsaka yung magkapatid, Ren at si Jun. Then, final gears is of course, well, sabi ni Ren, mind your own business. This is not your fight. Yan o, sabi naman ni Yo. Andito na ako eh. Alam namang iwanan pa kita. Alright? Alam namang iwanan pa kita. Ba let's move forward together. Halika. Halika. Sagupain natin yung airpot mo. So, alright. You wanna know why I call these three scenes gear shifts? Kasi, it just goes to show you how much of a good guy, okay? How much of a main protag Yo is. Okay? How much of a main protag Yo is, and how this good guy mindset, good guy personality rubs off on the people around him. Right? Si Horo-Horo at si Ryunosuke. Right? May dalawa na sila tinumban doon sa 5-star squad. Ganun na kadali. So, sabi nilang dalawa kay Ren, kay Yo, sige na, i-rescue mo na si Ren. Kami nang bahala rito sa mga mokong na to. So, they're that confident. Okay? They're that confident. Well, I think in the original series, they weren't able to beat those 5. Just the 2 of them. Si Ryunosuke at si Horo-Horo. Sila dalawa lang. Okay? Of course, kasama yung mga spirits nila. It just goes to show you how much of a main protag Yo is. Okay? You can say he's the quintessential main protagonist. Right? Tsaka, he also showed us how he takes care of his friends. How he takes real good care of his friends. Ayan. In trouble si Ren. Sige. Punta natin sa China. Yeah. Punta tayo China. Let's save him. So, sabi niya. Plot. Malinis. Right? Studio Bridge did not take detours nor cut corners with the story of this episode. Okay? Talagang seamless yung plot niya. Kasi, well, we really need to focus on how Yo is going to rescue Ren from this monstrosity of a father. Right? We really want to know how. Well, the why is there. Kasi he already treats Ren as a friend. Right? He takes real good care of his friends. That's one thing is clear about this episode. Okay? Tapat na kaibigan si Yo. Right? Friend to the very end. Kumbaga, magpatakayan sa airport ni Ren eh. Okay? Sabay nila sasagupain. That was the final scene. Sabay nila sasagupain si Tao En. Right? The patriarch of the Tao family. The source of Ren's hatred. Okay? So, malinis ang plot. Right? Another great episode from this reboot. Not only is it an action-packed one, it's also an empowering one. Right? This goes to show you how you could say it's a how-to guide on being a good friend. Parang ganun yan eh. Right? So, Shaman King 2021, Episode 9. Episode 11. Bakit ako Episode 9 ng Episode 9? 2 thumbs up. Alright? 2 thumbs up. Balag pa ako. Pause pa ako. sorry guys if you find my falsetto pathetic kasi I've been trying to find ways to normalize this. I know my falsetto sucks, okay? That's why I can't sing. Anyway, so Studio Bridge, aside from Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, they have this. So, kumbaga, you can see it's now the biggest feather on their cap. Right? They are absolutely following the manga to the letter. Munti ko nang hindi matanda ng episode na to dun sa original series. But there was an episode like this. Pero, I think it took 2 episodes. Ito, hindi. Yeah, the actual rescue attempt took 2 episodes. 2.5. Wala yata. It took 2.5 episodes. I don't know on how long this is going to take. Right? It's a mini arc. Okay? We could call it a mini arc kasi it's at least 2 episodes long eh. So, yeah. Talagang believe ako sa ginagawa ng Studio Bridge for the Shaman King reboot. They are following the manga to the letter. And I don't I think this reboot is getting hyped right now because fans are talking about it. Even casual anime fans are excited about it. Okay. So, alright. So again, I got less words to say and I'm taking care of my throat. Right? Shaman King 2021 episode 11. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. My ASMR mode is perfect right now. Title of the next episode has been teasered. Wow. Alright. Looks like it's going to be the final showdown between father and son. I cannot wait to see that episode. Ito, sigurado, hindi lang bakbakang umatikabo to. Patayang umaatikabo.
Probably the most peaceful episode of this anime. Alright. Well, they were quite successful in escaping. Okay. You just gotta be happy for them. But they treaded onto old imperial land, and they saw quite the shops that were abandoned. Yeah, the fashion trends were still there. They even saw a zoo where obviously the animals were abandoned, so they were basically left to die. Talagang iniwan sila ng mga humans nila doon. Well, they either died from the war or died of starvation. I feel sorry for those animals. Reminds me a lot of what happened during World War II. Okay, after the war, a lot of animals in zoos were basically killed from bombs, from stray bullets. Okay, so yeah, basically they were left to die. Okay, and that scene from this episode reminded me of that piece of human history. Okay, and well, for the first time probably in their whole lives, they were enjoying life. Okay, without those albans up there on their cases calling them pigs, without those racist albans. Okay, and of course without the Legion hot on their tail. actually encountered a Legion Juggernaut, which was actually crying out to Shin. It was actually asking Shin to basically end it. Well, na-deduce kagad ng mga ni-Raiden that this was an 86 like them. So, yun. Shin did what he had to do. He euthanized it. Okay. Even in peacetime, war is ugly. Final scene. It shows Fido. Fido is basically a transport android which has been loyal to Shin since day one. Okay. But ito pinakamatagal ng kasama ni Shin sa labanan. Itong transport droid na to. Now, before that, Raiden was asking Shin if Fido is more than just a machine. And Shin asked, "Why are you asking?" And well, Raiden said, "Never mind." Siguro gets na ni Raiden ang sagot. Okay. Being Shin's XO. Okay. So back to the final scene. We just see Fido being blown to smithereens, and parang he's caught up in a battle, and he's almost out of commission, and he's just having these flashbacks of the entire 86 unit that he has served. Of course, under Shin, parang nag-flashback sa kanya lahat eh. Lahat ng na-witness niya. Lahat ng he saw the best and the worst of the 86 happen before his eyes. Optic sensors. And just I just saw him being blown away by a shell. I don't know the details about that, but based on the final scene, I can safely assume right now that we're in for a shocking ending from 86. Okay. So let's analyze this episode overall. It's a good episode. Right. It's a good episode. Pace. Okay. Yung pacing ng episode, well, it's the pacing actually prepared us for the final scene. Okay. Let's say the pace went through the calm before the storm type of pacing. Yeah, the pacing was like that, calm before the storm. Everything was peaceful. It's paradise to the remaining 86. Yun silang lima. Okay. Reasonably slow because, like I said a while ago, it prepared us for the final scene, which is what 86 is known for now. A great post-credit scene, right? Looks like this anime is taking pages off of the MCU's playbook. You gotta have a great post-credit scene in order to motivate the viewer to watch the next episode. Yep. That was an effect. That was an effect for me. Okay. So the pacing was really good. Okay. The calm before the storm type of pacing always works. Flow naman. Well, first gear shift I saw here was when they finally got to a town that is well, a town in old imperial land. It was once the jurisdiction of the Gyad. Sorry about that. It's my gaming tablet. It's my gaming phone. They saw what the Gyadian Empire looked like. Kasi talagang the place is ravaged by war. Talagang it's a war zone. Literally a war zone. But there are remnants of its past glory, like the fashion stores, the zoo. Okay, that is one large zoo. Okay, but humanity's cruelty is evidently shown there, because the animals obviously were left to die. Talagang inabandon na yung zoo, even the animals. So they saw skeletal remains of animals. No, I couldn't say they felt sorry for these animals, but personally, yeah, I felt sorry. Okay, this is what war actually does to organic life. Okay, so yeah, I felt sorry for those animals. So yeah, that's why I consider it a gear shift, because well, it affected me in some way. But for the remaining 86, the remainder of Shin and his group, it's paradise to them, because they didn't have to deal with the enemy today in this episode. Nothing. Second gear shift is of course when Shin euthanized the Legion Juggernaut's brain. Kasi nakalata ni Raiden na this used to be one of them. Okay, 86 siya, tulad nila. So talagang naghihirap na eh. He can't operate the Juggernaut quite well, and there are signs that this brain is dying. So Shin just ended it. Okay, he's euthanizing. Okay, he euthanized this pilot. Kasi as you all know, the Legion is if you think the Republic is the Republic Albans are racist. You think they're devils. So is the Legion. Kinuha nila kasi ang mga utak ng mga buhay pang 86, and they plant that into every Juggernaut they have, especially the shepherds, kasi yun ang naging kaso ng kuya ni Shin. His brain is inside a shepherd, which is the lead Juggernaut for the Legion. So ayun, nalaman talaga well, if you go back to episode 9, that's exactly what happened. He euthanized his own brother. This was no different. Okay, sabi pa nga niya, you can go rest now. Tapos bang, splattered brain. Although hindi pinakita, but you can tell by the gun going off, the sound of the gun going off, na talagang minarsikiling na ni Shinito. Final gear shift came when the entire post-credit scene was a gear shift, because it left me to wonder, para sila naabot sa ganun eh. Alright, how did Fido end up in a battlefield, whereas he was joviantly enjoying his time as a free android? Well, Raiden's suspicion has some correction, is somewhat correct, kasi machines wouldn't actually think this way. So well, nakakalata ko ngayon na dati ring 86 itong si Fido, and his brain, that 86, his brain is now Fido's AI. So kasi you could tell by why Fido is having these flashbacks. Yung pala pinakita natin sa final scene that he's being bombarded on by probably by the Legion, or much worse, by the Republic, right? Just to, maybe they're probably euthanizing him. I don't know, kasi talagang binobombahan lang siya. And wow, I feel sorry for Fido. Okay. Yes, flashbacks are already an indication that he was once a human, because that's what the human brain goes through before it actually dies. Nagfa-flashback lahat ng memories ng taong yun, right? When like, kasi ito rin ang account ng mga taong, no, all those people that went through a near-death experience. Nagpa-flashback daw lahat sa kanila from the day they were born up to the time they were about to die. Okay, so wow, that was a rather creepy gear shift. I look back at it now, medyo may pagka-creepy ang gear shift na yun. I called it a gear shift because, well, okay, I'm going to tell you guys why I called these 3 scenes gear shifts. The way I see it, they will play a role. Excuse me. These 3 gear shifts will play a role in the finale. Baka nakakalimutan nyo mga ka-lifestyle, 86 is only 11 episodes. But I can't say this is part 1 of a 2-part finale. Nope, far from it. It's a totally separate episode. Kumbaga, the post-credit scene tells me that it's a totally separate episode. But it, in all indications, from both the final gear shift and the final scene, well, the entire post-credit scene, 86 is preparing us for probably a shocking finale, a finale that will shock the entire anime fandom. All right. So right now, I am mentally preparing for that. Okay. So plot, well, malinis. Okay. Walang kuskus balungos, no. It's not even a single sleeper moment. Although it had a calm before the storm kind of pace. No sleeper moments, because I felt that enjoyment being felt by the characters here, even Fido. Kasi for the first time probably in this entire war that they've been in, everything's quiet, everything is peaceful, although they find themselves in another war zone. And they probably encountered new supplies, kasi we all know what happened in episode 9. After taking out his brother and the rest of the legion that were with him, tumakas sila. So if you would put that by modern codes of war, abandonment of duty on. So more likely, the Republic is also after them. It's not just the Legion. Okay, it's not just the Legion. Well, the Legion has a beef with them now because they took out, I think they took out one of their best shepherds. Okay, so yeah, the Legion has an axe to grind to them, has an axe to grind with them also. It's not, and now it's all, I think it's now the Republic. So they gotta take some time for some R&R. This is the R&R that was presented to them. Alright, you gotta feel it. You gotta feel for them. Okay. All they wanted was freedom from war, and especially from racism and prejudice, which they have been experiencing since they were born. Alright. You gotta be empathic with these guys, sila Shin, si Raiden, and what's remaining of their unit. You gotta understand why they did that. Okay? So, maninis ang plot. Maninis talaga. And, well, if you ask me, this is a great setup for the finale, in which I'm theorizing right now that we're in for a shocking one. So, 86 episode 10. Deserve niya ang 2 thumbs up. Bakit? Because it sets up the viewer pretty well for the finale. For whatever finale is going to come our way next week. Right? Ganda ng preparasyon. Okay? Ganda ng preparasyon. And, well, social media update. 86 is now getting the hype it deserves. Okay? I've seen it on Facebook, and I myself have promoted this roster on TikTok just today. As of this recording, I promoted the entire review roster to TikTok. So because, well, spring 2021 is coming to a close, and nearly all the animes in this roster are ending, including 86. Okay, will be ending sooner. Will be ending earlier than usual. Yeah, 86, Godzilla Singular Point, Joran. Yan, yung tatlong yan. Yan ang maagang magtatapos. Hindi na nila hihintayin yung end ng June, or the final week of June for that matter. They're going to end their runs quite early. And you know what? I'm gonna miss this anime. From the post-credit scene of this episode, I got another theory that 86 won't be back for another season. Alright. It's going to be well, I think it's trending down the path Decadence took last summer. Talagang halatang it won't be back for another season. Talagang it's just a one-shot anime. Okay. But it would be nice, sana, if 86 would be back for another season, because it's the social issue being tackled here is so relevant today. Okay. Racism. Kasi with everything going on, Asian hate in North America, some parts of Europe is also happening, and of course the usual Black Lives Matter. Yeah, it would be nice for A1 Pictures to bring 86 back for another season. But why am I talking about it now? the finale hasn't aired yet. We're gonna expound on 86's prospects for another season after we've seen the finale. All right. So again, 86 episode 10. Two thumbs up, lifestyle. So in typical 86 fashion, title of the next episode has been teasered. I don't want to speculate anymore. I will just wait for next week, watch it, and deep dive into it like I did with the other episodes. Wow. All right. Wow. Kate and Emilico made it in time. But unfortunately, Ram and Shirley didn't. Okay. So, ganun pala ang nangyayari kapag ang isang shadow ay kapag ang isang shadow ay sumablay sa debut niya. That shadow just evaporates. Yep. Namatay si Shirley dito. Now, based on what we learned from this episode, Ram is about to be repurposed as a veiled doll. Ano to? Content? Repurpose? You know, Kate has always had these hidden doubts about of how Shadow's house is being run. Kaya nung nakita niya Lord Grandfather na kumaway sa kanila because they were the four bears that made it past the debut. She thought, so he's the root of all this evil. Kaya pala mainit ang dugo ni Edward sa kanya. Mukhang may pinainom kila Emilico that makes them subservient now to the Lord Grandfather. Alright. Looks like a screw job is brewing. No pun intended. Final scene. Ayun na. Emilico's what you call this, mannerisms right now na ipakita niya kay Kate, and well, although you can't see her actual facial expression, you can tell by her profile, Kate is now concerned. Right? Medyo mukhang nabalot na ng takot si Kate because of what she saw of what Emilico now looks like. Parang, alright, Emilico now has that disturbing look on her face. And if you catch that scene wherein binati sila ng Lord Grandfather, so are the other dolls. Okay, si John, si Ricky, at si Lou. Halos ganun din ang mukha. But Emilico's face right now, yep, it sort of creeped me out. Okay, that final scene actually creeped me out. I thought, Emilico, your cuteness is gone. What happened to your eyes? Overall, yeah, it's a fucking good episode. Alright, capped off by a disturbing final scene. Base, alright. You know, it was a real cliffhanger ending. Akala ko hindi makakalusot sa debut sila Kate at Emilico, but they just put their brains together. That was the result. Okay, they turned the cart into a boat. Tapos Kate using her, wow, grabe. Talagang, if I should say so myself, Kate has totally mastered her suit powers. Right? Siya ang nag-i-steer dun sa boat. Then, when the boat finally gave way, so tumalsik sila sa ere, she was able to produce wings out of that suit. Pak. They were able to glide. They were able to glide for a soft landing. Hawak-hawak niya si Emilico sa braso niya, with Emilico in her arms. Alright. Wow. The pace actually helped showcase Kate's character development here. Grabe. Okay. She really wants to get past the debut. And well, of course, kasama niya dapat si Emilico, okay, whom she considers now her best friend. Emilico's not just a doll to her anymore. She's a confidant. She's a close confidant and a trusted ally. But you all saw in the final scene, can she still trust Emilico? Okay, now she's okay. The pace was, well, of course, understandably fast because it had a cliff. The debut had a cliffhanger finish. But unfortunately for Shirley and Rum, that's when the pace slowed down real good. Talagang it was a virtual death scene. Kasi parang na-dispatcha na si Shirley. She disintegrated, literally. Kasi tapos na ang debut. Then, ito naman si Rum. Kawawa kasi wala na yung amo niya. So, Edward had no choice but to repurpose her. Like she was a piece of content or something. Right? Due to the pace, I really felt sorry for both for both Rum and Shirley here. Yung palangin naghihintay na kapalaran sa mga shadow if they don't get past the debut. They simply disintegrate. Kasi they're just created out of soot, abo. Literal silang abong pinanganak. Literal silang abong babalik sa pinanggalingan. I really felt sorry for Rum because she lost a master, but in her final moments, Shirley was able to say her face's name, to say her doll's name. Natuwa si Rum. It's a form of acknowledgement na rin eh. And well, the way I see it, talagang Shirley accepted her fate already by slowing down her walking. Of course, bumaga ang lakad niya, babaga din ang lakad ni Rum. So, I feel Rum's loss. Okay, and I really feel sorry for Shirley. Okay, she might have been a potential ally for Kate. Okay, and of course, Rum is Emilico's best friend. Okay. Mag-bestie yan. Yung bond nila, yung friendship nila talagang nabuo ng gusto dito sa debut. Alright? So, yeah. Talagang dito eh. Okay? Dito. Alright. I felt it right here. And the pacing made me feel that. So if it weren't for the pacing, I might have been apathetic to what went down right after the debut has ended. Okay. So the pacing was really good. Okay. Yeah. You can call it balanced. Flow naman. Well, of course, the first gear shift here was Kate and Emilico getting past the debut in their own way. Sinara na nga sila ng gate ni ni Edward. Tarantado talaga yung Edward na yun, okay? Now we know who's the real douchebag of this anime. It's no longer Ricky. It's no longer Patrick. Because, well, if you ask me, they've seen the light. It's Edward. Okay? It's Edward. And there's another douchebag here that can compete with Edward. Si Ryan, the upper level shadow. Talagang he treated Edward here like garbage. Okay, talagang the ultimate mata pobre pala itong si Ryan. Okay. Well, you can say that Ryan is an even bigger douchebag than Edward because he is on the top floor. He is sharing the top floor with the Lord Grandfather. Okay. So, yun nga. If it weren't for this gear shift, we probably wouldn't know about the internal conflict going on between Edward and the other top floor shadows. All right, because Edward thinks that the Lord Grandfather is being surrounded by idiots, and he plans to expose all of them. Yun ang masasabi ko. So, if it weren't for that gear shift, we wouldn't be knowing this. Second gear shift is, of course, when the dolls drank that sort of tinawag ni Emilico na coffee kasi bitter ang taste right? Coffee is bitter in taste, but iba daw yung bitterness nito. Alright, that gear shift would be fatal, the way I see it, kasi all of a sudden all four dolls became subservient to the Lord Grandfather, that every time he just waves his hand like that, ecstatic na sila. So the four young shadows, yeah, they felt that they were alarmed, especially si Kate. This became a tense moment. That's why I called her a gear shift. Final gear shift is, of course, the final scene. If you haven't seen this episode, you better watch it, because I've never seen Emilico look so disturbing before. Because she's always this this real cutie when not a care in the world. He's always happy. Then all of a sudden she is like this. She has that blank stare on her face. And wow, Kate has every reason to be alarmed. Kasi hindi naman ganyan dati si Emilico. Kasi nung binalita niya na Rom is about to be repurposed, ang sabi ni Emilico, it's the way it is. So, doon pa lang naalarma na si Kate. I think she was thinking, what the fuck? Yep, it's a WTF moment. That's why it's a gear shift. These three gear shifts that I mentioned just now will play a role in the final 3 episodes of this anime. Yep. Episode 10 na. So, 11, 12, 13. Shadow's House is a 13 episode run. So, that's the final 3 episodes. The way I see it, these 3 gear shifts will play a role, will be a factor in the final 3 episodes. If not for one of them, for all of them. Gets nyo? Plot naman. Malinis. Malinis ang plot. Talagang nag-focus siya sa debut and the potential repercussions from it. Grabe. Okay. Wala siyang no sleeper moments. Okay. No sleeper moments. Walang kuskus balungos. The viewer wasn't forced to do anything. The viewer wasn't even forced to check his social media. All right, because it wasn't because the plot kept him to the edge of his seat. And of course the cheering, yay! Pasado na sila Kate at Emilico. You just gotta root for those 2 girls, okay? You just gotta root for those 2 girls. So yeah, napakalinis ng plot. Well, except for the suited nature of the young shadows, of course. Okay. Kahit meron silang kahit they're created from suit, yeah, malinis pa rin ang plot. Again, it's another great episode from this anime. Okay. It has yet to disappoint me. Okay. It has yet to air an episode that will disappoint me. So, Shadow's House episode 10. I'm not gonna tell you why. Just watch the episode. Okay. Just watch the episode. But anyway, I want to talk about what's gonna happen now. Okay. Medyo, well, by noble standards, even in real life, Kate is a rebel. Kate is a rebel. So yeah, she sees things that she sees things that seem off right away. She has that keen eye. Okay. You can say that she has a detective's eye. Alright? Mala Sherlock Holmes yung kanyang observation skills. Yeah. She's that smart. Right? And well, she has every right to be now the main protag of this anime. Alright? The way I see it, she's going to start a revolution within Shadow's House. You wanna know what my sign was to this to that observation of mine? Well, simple. She called the Lord Grandfather the source of the root of all this evil. Yep. In all indications, that statement of hers proves that she does not trust the Lord Grandfather. Alright? She has zero trust for the Lord Grandfather, and probably every other top floor shadow. And well, rightfully so. Si Ryan pa lang hindi mo na dapat pagkatiwalaan eh. Right? He's a certified douchebag. Right? Sila ni Edward. But, well, he's the biggest douchebag of them all in this anime. Proven na yan. He has already proven that in this episode. The way he treated Edward, who's a douchebag in his own right. Yep. That makes him an even bigger douchebag. So yeah, I'm gonna be very interested in the final 3 episodes of Shadow's House amongst all the animes in this roster right now. I'm gonna be most interested in Shadow's House. So again, Shadow's House episode 10. Two thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. Title of the next episode has been teasered. Looks like we're going to deep dive into that that beverage that might cause problems for the young shadows, right? See, let's run them down. Kate, Patrick, the remaining John at si Lou. All right. Kaya tutok pa more tayo sa Shadow's House, ha?
Wow! You know, episode 9 was the most intense episode of this anime. Pero mukhang nasapawan na ng episode 10. Right? Takemichi was trying his best to rush Draken to the hospital. Okay. Tinulungan na siya nila Hina, ni Emma, and nila Akun in the time of Nick pa nga eh. But who was in his way? Kiyomasa's faction. Pati si Kiyomasa nandun. Right? So, well, basically, hinarap na niya si Kiyomasa. And, to everybody's surprise, natalo niya si Kiyomasa. Okay? What he did was, well, he went MMA on that guy. Alright? He went MMA. Chinoke-hold niya. Okay? Chinoke-hold niya yung ganong kalaking Kiyomasa. Until, poof! Kiyomasa passes out. Final scene. Akun and the rest of Takemichi's original gang, yeah, they were holding the rest of Kiyomasa's men off. Ayun, dumating na sa wakas, dumating na rin yung ambulansya. Right? Then Takemichi declares it a win. Overall, it's a fucking good episode. Okay? Grabe. It's obvious that episode 10 probably outdid episode 9. Kasi mukhang mas ano to eh. It was the final reality check Takemichi needed. Right? Explain natin. Let's do it ARD style, okay? Pace. The only time the pace picked up is when Takemichi decides to take Kiyomasa on by himself. Right? That was the first gear shift. Well, kasi hindi pa dumarating ang ambulansya. Dugo na si Draken. Nakandusay nga sa kalye. Binabantayan nila Emma at Hina. So, there's no one else to defend Draken except him. So, talagang nilakas na niya ang loob niya. Hinamon sa laban si Kiyomasa. But Kiyomasa cheats. Sinaksak siya sa kamay. Alright? He never plays fair. Pero, well, in the end, Takemichi made him pay. Okay? Second and final gear shift is of course when Akun and the rest of his and the rest of Takemichi's gang showed up to help. Okay, the best way they can. Dito natin nakita yung solidarity ng barkadang ito. All right? We saw their solidarity here. That's why I called it a gear shift. Right? It gave Takemichi more confidence that this mission won't be a failure after all. So yun nga, dumating nga yung ambulansya. Kaya sinabi ni Takemichi sa final scene, we've won. Alright? So, these two gear shifts will play a role probably in the next 3 episodes. Okay? At least in the next 3 episodes. Itong dalawang gear shift na to. Ano ba nasun? Okay. Plot naman. What? The plot was, malinis. Okay? Malinis. Tinagalan ko pa yung sagot ko, no? But anyway, hey, Chuck. It's my dog. Now, bakit malinis ang plot? Kasi, doon lang talaga nag-focus eh. Doon lang talaga nag-focus yung episode. Yung pagkakatanggol. Yung pagkakatanggol ni Takemichi kay Draken. Alright? Well, it was a reality check for Takemichi himself. Kasi, if he doesn't do anything here, it's all over. So, yun ang mindset niya kanina. Well, when I was watching this episode, of course. Yun ang mindset niya sa episode na to. If he doesn't stand up to Kiyomasa now, it's all over. Okay? At naalala niya, ito pala talaga ang tormentor nila Akon, si Kiyomasa. Right? So, kumaga, pagkakataon na para gumante. Well, he got his revenge. He absolutely got his revenge. Then, hindi mo rin masasabi kasi planchado eh. Right? Because it focused on one solid plot. Okay? It focused on one solid plot. Just like in the last episode. Kung titignan nyo, carry over pa nga from the last episode yung plot eh. Kaya, kasing linis ng episode na to, ang episode 9. Right? That's why I judged it as having a clean plot. Right? Whew! Ang intense ng episode na to. Right? But I couldn't say na nasapawan niya ang episode 9 right now. Right? Kasi it had its own complications. It had its own complications, this episode. But nevertheless, it's a great episode from this anime. Another great episode. Grabe. So, Tokyo Revengers episode 10. Gusto pa. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. You know, we have not yet capped off the first half of this anime's run. Right? But spring 2021 is its end is upon us. And it's good to know that Tokyo Revengers will still be here for review. by the time summer starts, it'll still be around. So, yeah. Judging from what we just saw in this episode, we should be looking forward to more great episodes from this anime. Right? Oh, by the way, the deep dive. What? Kung isa-psychoanalysis nyo si Takemichi, basically, iyakin as fuck siya. Alright? But, he still delivers the goods. Right? He still pulls through. That's the most important here. Right? No matter what you do on the sidelines, as long as you can deliver the results, deliver the results. Okay? That's the deep dive here. Yeah, sabi ko sa inyo, Tokyo Revengers also has that deep dive factor. Okay? Yeah, that's it. Tawag nga sa kanya ni Akon, kay Baby Hero eh. He was even called Trashimichi ng mga kasama nila Kiyomasa. Yeah, because they thought he was trash. But no. He almost broke Kiyomasa's neck in this episode. He almost broke his neck. With that, yung chokehold niyang ganon. Putang ina, nakakapit na siya sa leg na ganon. Then, nakakapit pa siya doon sa torso ni Kiyomasa. Talagang chokehold siya. And the mere weight of him, yun ang nagpapahigpit sa chokehold. Yun ang trick dun eh. That's the trick there. All right? When you're doing a chokehold, ideally you should have your full weight on the opponent's body. Wala na, pass out na. Sa bigat, and he's basically run out of air. All right? So, wow, okay, talagang nagulat talaga ako kay Takemichi rito. He was able to subdue a guy like Kiyomasa. Okay? Matangkad si Kiyomasa at talagang he's scary. All right? He's scary. So, well, I'm hoping that we're gonna have more great episodes on this anime coming into the second half of the run. Yeah, expected ko na yan. Right? Because 2 episodes na lang, makakalahati na tayo sa anime na to. So, yeah. Review pa more. So, again, Tokyo Revengers, Episode 10. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up on our lifestyle.
In typical Revengers fashion, no teasers. So, well, it's anybody's guess kung ano mangyayari sa next episode. Kung masisave pa si Draken, and well, Takemichi has proven his point that he's no pushover anymore. Okay? So, pag ginagawa natin, abay, tutok pa more na. Tokyo Revengers is now getting the hype it deserves. Tandaan nyo yan.
Wow! Luke versus Yoga 2 has just started. And it won't be, and 1 episode won't be enough for this to be settled. It has to be 2. Okay? It's obvious. It's really obvious. Kasi, Yoga and Luke are 2 really contrasting dueling styles. Okay? Luke is sort of a power duelist. Si Yoga naman, well, takes his time. He really takes his time analyzing the opponent first, then he knows, when he's figured out a way to really beat his opponent, that's when he works. Okay? That's when he duels seriously. While this was going on, of course, people are hard at work behind the scenes, especially Roa and Neil's hacking team. Nalaman nila na may isa pang hacker na sumusubok talaga na i-rewrite ang dueling program ng Goha. Right? So, nasasapawan sila. Then, Yoga, through his theory, employs the Space Duel Club. Yeah. He employed their services, and well, through them he found out that his suspicions were true. Goa's central server is not on Earth. It's on the moon. Yun, pinakita. But to his surprise, he saw the robot he drew in the pilot. It was there. Okay, nasa gitna ng parang hexagon na ganon. The hexagon itself is the central server. Okay, the robot inside it. Yeah, it looks a lot like the robot Yuga drew in the pilot in episode 1. Nataka nga rin si Yuga eh. Totoo ba to? What? How was I able to draw that? Okay. So, it's, what you call this? It's actually, well, Yuga thought it was just a figment of his imagination, yung drawing na yun. Pero, hindi niya alam na totoo pala yung, that robot exists. Okay, that robot exists. So, final scene. Camera pans to a secret location. Lo and behold, here's your master hacker, si Otis. And he is actively uninstalling the Rush Tool program. Yeah. Ako na-surprise din ako. Why would Otis do this? Why? Right? So, we're gonna deep dive into that ARD style, alright? Overall, it's a really good episode. I'll tell you why. Let's start with the pace. Tamang-tama lang ang pacing. Tandaan nyo, this may be a 2-part season finale. So, kailangan bonggang-bongga ang duel, bonggang-bongga ang conspiracies, bonggang-bongga ang mga, what you call this, exposés. Yeah, the exposés need to be need to have that much shock value. Yep, I was shocked. Okay, I was shocked at what I found out in this episode. Okay, but you have to consider we're in a duel. Okay, the fast pace should not be diminished by much. Kailangan hindi mawala yung fast pace ng duel, right? So what he did was, well, slow it down a bit. Okay, what Studio Bridge there was slow it down a bit in order for everybody to understand what was going on in the sidelines and and the conspiracy that is happening right under their noses. Okay, so yeah, sakto lang yung pacing ng episode na to, and I hope they carry this same pacing in the next one, because I could really feel it in my bones that this is a 2-part season finale. Okay, now Flu naman. The first gear shift was when Luke was able to counter Yuga's attack with his maximum monster C Blast Vulcan. Alright, he was able to even pan his life points to back to nearly 4,000. Yung nga lang kasi umatake ang inatake ni Blast Vulcan yung kanyang drag gears, so considerable damage. Okay, kung hindi niya inactivate yung trap na yon, malamang talo siya, or kung sumaplay yung effect ng trap niya, yep, he might have lost as well. Kaya swerte na rin. Okay, dinaanan na sa swerte ni Luke. Okay, that counter, that's a gear shift. I'll explain why later. Second gear shift is when Geta found out what was really going on, right? So yun nga, may isa pang hacker na, may isa pang tao na humahack sa central server ng Goka. Okay, and wow, and I thought, oh, this was just the a cuckoo. You get what I'm saying? So, wow, the guy's a master hacker. Okay, biro mo, mag-isa lang siya. He is his codes. Right? They are having a hard time suppressing his codes. Much more naman sila Geta. Mga simpleng hacker lang yung mga yan eh. Alright. So, wow. That's a gear shift. Final gear shift game is, of course, the camera panning to where Otis is. He is, believe it or not, whether you've watched it or not, he is seriously uninstalling the Rush Tool program from Go's central server. Now I don't know what his motives are, but we'll soon find out in the next episode. Okay? Tagaan niyo sa mata yan. Okay? So, well, another great episode of this anime. And, I almost forgot the plot. Basta, ang plot, planchado. I can't say na malinis ang plot kasi maraming conspiracy theories na tinakel. So, you really have to iron out the plot that well. So as not to make the viewer lose interest or get pissed off at you. And vent their frustrations on social media. Alright? Yeah, planchado ang plot. Alright? So again, it's it's another great episode for this anime. Have I mentioned a while ago that there were no sleeper moments or hiccups in this episode despite being planchado lang? So, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 51. Bakit? Kasi notwithstanding the duel, the way they told the conspiracy part of this episode, it would probably make the Gallop era Yu-Gi-Oh! Series proud. Okay? Hindi ko akalain na capable pala ang Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 sa ganitong klaseng episode. And aside from probably Yuga and Luke having the duel of their lives, they're also showing the episode is also showing that that Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 is not a great series without the conspiracies. Okay? Wow, grabe ang revelation sa episode na to. Talagang I never thought Otis is the real enemy here. But we don't know what his motives are, so we should hang tight for a bit. Mali natin, he's still one of the good guys, and he's probably doing this because he saw an underlying evil program or someone that he needs help with, or that he needs to take out. All right, we really don't know what his motives are, so we really have to watch the next episode for that. Importante. Remember, the first and all three gear shifts this episode will be a factor in the next episode. Now, I am assuming that the next episode will be the season finale. Will be the season finale for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's. Alright? Couldn't come at a better time. Okay? If they pull this off correctly, this mystery angle, lalo na dami ang mga viewers ng Sevens. Because, well, it's basically not just it's not just an anime for Yu-Gi-Oh fan. It's not just an anime for Yu-Gi-Oh players. No, far from that. Meron ding deep dive factor ang episode na to. Talagang mapapaisip ka sino ba talaga ang may pakana nito? Who is pulling the strings if it's not Goha? So we all found out it was Otis all along. Right? But we still don't know what his motives are. So tutok pa more na lang. Tutok pa more na lang. Okay? So again, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 51. So next episode has been teasered and talagang magulo. I couldn't piece it back together. Well, that's what spoilers do. That's what teasers do. Right? That's why I don't trust them. Nagbaka sakali lang ako. Anyway, tutok pa more tayo because this will probably be the real season finale of Sevens. And we might usher in a new season after this. Tandaan nyo. The new OP of Sevens will be introduced probably before the month of June ends. They will premiere that in an episode of Sevens. When that happens, that's the start of a new season. Pahuhuli pa ba kayo?
Whoa! Woo! That was intense! Okay? Well, we opened the episode with, of all people, the devil named Charles Augustus Milverton pays a visit to the Holmes house. Well, he called the king of blackmailers for nothing. He's now trying to blackmail Sherlock Holmes himself. Alright? So, you know Sherlock, he always has a countermeasure. So, ang balak niya, go to Milverton's villa in Brighton para nakawin yung ebidensya. Tuloy ang plano. So, sumama na rin si Watson. They heard gunshots and si Holmes, pinakuha na niya kay Watson ang police. So, unbeknownst to Watson, Sherlock now has another counter plan. Nagkakabali na pala sa loob. It turns out to be the Moriartys. Nauna na pala sila dun. Right? They were really intent on killing Milverton at that moment. And ayun. Nakalata ni Milverton. It's him na umiispiya. So, the king of blackmailers, the empire's greatest detective, and the lord of crime are now in one room. Most intense scene of this episode, or of this, probably of this anime. Okay? Well, eventually, in order to not give Moriarty, William the satisfaction, Sherlock kills Milverton. Bakit kaya? Binawi niya. Pero, ito namang si Milverton na gago, nag-suicide attempt pa. So, talagang, he really wants to play both Sherlock and the Moriartys in the palm of his hand. Okay? Well, Sherlock wouldn't give him that satisfaction either. Kaya, nung patalo na siya, doon sa binaril ni Sherlock. Okay? Doon siya pinaulan na ng bala ni Sherlock. And what? William is surprised. The detective whom he thought would never kill has finally killed someone. Not only that, Sherlock burns the house down. Literally. Final scene. Well, dumating na si Watson with the police. Sherlock turns himself in. And William now finally realizes something. That Sherlock is now out to kill him. Medyo napagano na siya. In fear of his own life. Probably for the first time. Intense ng episode na to. Overall, it's a fucking good episode. Wow! Right? Pace. You know what? The true winner here is Sherlock Holmes. Bakit? Because what? Unang-una sa lahat, the pace made us realize that. Alright? Sabi ko sa inyo, Moriarty the Patriot has that deep dive factor. Okay? Speaking of in terms of this roster, this one and Joran have the deepest deep dive factors. And they've proven that once again. Sa pace pa lang, let's say na may kabilisan. Okay? May kabilisan because there were a lot of intense scenes in this episode. So, if the scenes are intense, yup, the pace is definitely fast. Assume nyo dapat. Always keep that in mind. If there is an intense scene, then the pace is fast. Okay? So, reasonably fast. Kasi, sa dami na nangyari, remember guys, this is episode 11. The final 3 episodes have begun. Kaya medyo they should pick up the pace a little bit more. So, but to Sherlock's surprise, nandun din ang mga Moriarty. Alright? So, ang dami talaga nangyari. Okay? Pinatay ni Sherlock si Milverton. Then, in the final scene, nagpa-arresto siya. So, the pace was reasonably fast. Right? If you're a sucker for animes that have mostly entertainment value and not not make you think like this, then Moriarty the Patriot is not for you. Alright? Tandaan nyo yan. Flow naman. First gear shift is of course when they were about to when they were about to raid Milverton's villa para makuha nila yung pinapang-blackmail ni Milverton. Right? It's impossible to get the under pressure in the Thames. Pinagtatapon na nga eh. It's impossible. Kaya talagang bina-blackmail sila ni Milverton. Ito naman si Milverton, ini-expect niya palang gagawin pala ni Sherlock yun. But Sherlock rebuts him during that face-off between him, Milverton, and Moriarty, si William. Essentially, sinabi niya kay Milverton na siya ang hindi nagbabasa ng sitwasyon. Right? He's the one who doesn't read situations very well. Okay? So, that's the first gear shift. Yung planong raid nila Sherlock at Watson doon sa isang bahay ni Milverton para makuha yung ebidensya. Second gear shift is of course the face-off. Alright? It complicated things kasi may original na plano si Sherlock na kunin yung ebidensya para hindi na ma-blackmail ni Milverton yung fiancé ng best friend niya, si Watson. Okay, they're not just business partners, all right? They're best friends. Even in the books written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, okay, they're considered best friends. So, right, it was probably the most intense scene of the entire anime. Okay, and that includes season 1. Okay, sabi ko sa inyo, the Empire's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes, the king of blackmailers, si Charles Milverton, and the Lord of Crime, represented by William James Moriarty. They're all in one room. At nagkakatutukan na. Alright? Nagkatutukan na ng baril. So, if that doesn't make an intense scene for you, I don't know what will. Okay? So, wow. Okay? Probably the most important gear shift of this entire anime. Not only season 2. Kasi, akala ni Milverton na hindi pa alam ni Sherlock kung sino ang Lord of Crime. Akala naman ni William na hindi pa nakakabangga ni Milverton si Sherlock. Now, same thing goes with Sherlock. Akala naman ni Sherlock hindi pa nakakabangga ni William ito, si Milverton. That's the deep dive. Right? That's the deep dive of that scene. So, pero, sinabi na mismo ni Sherlock kay Milverton, matagal ko nang alam na ang Lord of Crime ay si William James Moriarty. So, nawala forma ni Milverton. Nawala forma ng demonyong si Milverton. Okay? So, what? Either William or Sherlock can kill him because they both have guns. Siya naman wala. So he has no choice but to kill himself. But Sherlock didn't give him the satisfaction. Nung patalon na siya, he launched himself into the air. Doon sa binaril ni Sherlock. Doon sa pinaunan na ng bala. Never give the devil the satisfaction he wants. Ganun lang yun. Never give the devil himself the satisfaction he wants. Kaya, it's an all-important gear shift. A very, arguably the most crucial one in this entire anime. Now, final gear shift is of course when Sherlock turned himself in. Sinabi niya lahat. Ako pumatay kay Milverton. O, yun na muna. Tsaka na siya siguro magsasalita pag nasa Scotland Yard na siya. Malamang. Right? In all certainties, he will be incarcerated at Scotland Yard headquarters because, well, he is their consulting detective after all. And because of his actions in this episode, he's now probably one of the Empire's most dangerous criminals now. And Sherlock probably knows that. Right? So, the final 2 gear shifts. Okay? The final 2 gear shifts. Ito, gaganon ako. Yan, okay. The final 2 gear shifts will play a role in the final 2 episodes of this anime. Okay? These final 2 gear shifts. Okay? So, well, if you could see the look on Milverton's face nung nalaman niya na nasapawan na pala siya ni Sherlock Holmes, right? That's why Sherlock Holmes is the British Empire's greatest detective. Okay? Pero sinabi mismo ni Sherlock na, well, that the Lord of Crime is always one step ahead of him. Sinabi niya kay William mismo yon. Okay? Grabe. Another great episode from this great anime. You know, mamaya na. So, Moriarty the Patriot, second season, episode 11. Mag-isip eh. 2 thumbs up, alright? 2 thumbs up. You know, ako'y gaganito na. Ako'y magdi-D4 na. You know, in all indications, from seasons 1 and 2, Moriarty the Patriot may go down as one of the best animes of this decade. Grabe deep dive factor niya eh. Okay? Grabe ang deep dive factor niya. It'll make you, each episode will really make you think as to why it happened, even how it happened. Okay? You really want to sink your teeth into the mindset of these characters. Especially si Sherlock at si William. Alright? Milverton all the time thought that he is one step ahead of everybody. Not Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock proved to Milverton, proved to everybody right here in this episode that he is always one step ahead of the criminals. Milverton is no exception. Okay? The lowlife named Milverton is no exception. Pero, like I said a while ago, the Lord of Crime, he said it himself, he said it to William's face. You've always been one step ahead of me. And you played me in your hands. But today, I am not giving you the satisfaction of killing this guy. So, yun nga. Siguro, nagpakiramdaman sila ni William kung sinong unang babaril kay kung sinong unang babaril kay Milverton. Ayun, naunahan niya si William. He was the one who shot Milverton. Multiple times, multiple times. Kumbaga, he brought a 6-shooter eh. 6-shooter yung yung baril niya. That was a 6-shooter. 6 na bala nasa loob nun. So, inubos niya. He empties the barrel on Milverton. So, now, William has that thing over his head that anytime Sherlock Holmes can put a bullet through his head. Because, he always thought Sherlock as the detective who would never kill anyone. But, surprise! He's over that hump already. He has already killed someone. So, yeah. The look of fear on William's face is legit. He is now afraid of Sherlock Holmes. Okay? At sinabi rin niya kay Sherlock, catch me if you can. Sinabi naman ni Sherlock, yeah. That's a promise. Ooh! Ooh! Grabe! Right? This episode was a really intense one. Okay? So kaya, but this episode doesn't exactly legitimize my claim that Moriarty the Patriot would become one of the greatest animes this decade. One of the greatest animes of this decade. Okay? Hindi lang naman yun ng magandang episode sa anime na to eh. Okay? Hindi lang naman yun eh. It's not that. It's not just that. So, if you're still missing out on Moriarty the Patriot, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Okay? Gago ka. You don't know a good anime when you see one. Okay? You know, it's okay to watch animes with entertainment value. I hate to break it to you, but all animes have entertainment value. Right? What separates them from each other is the storyline. Right? If the storyline makes you deep dive, that's what I call the deep dive factor, then that's a good anime. Moriarty the Patriot is one of them. And well, this is my bold prediction for this decade. Moriarty the Patriot will become one of the greatest animes of the 2020s. Tagaan nyo sa bato yan. So again, Moriarty the Patriot, second season, episode 11. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle.
Title of the next episode has been, matter of fact, the episode itself has been teasered. Muntik na ako makarry it away doon na. So, we're up for a mini arc. What a way to cap off season 2. Well, it's basically, well, it has been announced in the title itself. This, we are up for a 2-part finale. Right? So, kumbaga yan, mini arc na rin yun. Mini arc na rin yun. Kasi 2 parts na siya. Okay? So, well, I don't know about you guys, but I am waiting for that next week.